The following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network.
Satter wants the ball. He's going to maybe tee it up for 11-3. He got it! 11 three-pointers for Ty Satter. It's unbelievable.
Now here come the Fusion the other way. Nice ball in towards Kamai. Kamai able to set it down. Kamai beating the keeper. Shot on the way, and Kamai scores. 1-0 for the Fusion, and it's
1-2 pitch. Line shot up the middle. One run will score. Deer rounding third. He's coming to the plate. Actually,
Verwest, they center in front. Scarbrug down low, loose in front, in for a goal. South Shaley gets the first goal of this East Region title.
Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
And good evening and welcome to the Budget Blinds pregame show here on the Magnitude Sports Network. I'm Jason Groth with Grant Durkheising as we get ready to go for what should be a fun one tonight. A Midwest Red contest between the Perham Yellow Jackets with a record of 1-2 and the Little Falls Flyers with a record of 2-1. And Grant, tonight a unique contest, the first time these two teams have ever played each other.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think over 100 years, these two teams that are only an hour and a half apart, they've never scored off on the football field before. So given 3 games up to this point, there's only a little bit of scout on that. There's not any past experiences. So both teams offensively like to push the football. They like to throw it. They like to run it. And both teams have really good quarterbacks. Perham's got a right-handed quarterback, and Little Falls has a left-handed quarterback, and he's thrown for 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. And Blaze Schmidt for Perham quarterback, he's thrown for 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So what I think is going to be about a 22-14 game. I could be way off on that, Jason, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring game because both teams' defenses are really good. But a lot of similar formations with Perham and Little Falls. Perham will run gun, eye split backs. They'll run a little ace, double tight, some tight ends, gun, offset eye backs, some double twins, and some trips. And Little Falls likes the spread game. They like to throw it around. They like to run quick trap on offense. They'll pull a guard and they'll trap the defensive 3 technique. They'll pull a guard and trap the end there. And they like to sling it around. And it's unique, too, because you don't see a lot of left-handed quarterbacks. And Little Falls' left-handed quarterback, he can run, he's fast, he's athletic, he's accurate, he can run on the throw, or throw on the run. And, he's got a good arm, too, and he's got a heck of a receiver. With number 1, Isaac Olson, as a senior, 185 pounds, 6'2". He's got 7 touchdowns on the year. And very similar on the Perham offensive side, too. Gage Jonathan, he's kind of Blaze Schmidt's go-to offensively. And you think about the running game for both teams. Little Falls has a really good running back in Hank LeClaire, and Perham kind of has a 2-headed monster with 2 good running backs in Hudson Hackle and Braylon Rock. So I'm excited to see this matchup and see what kind of adjustments these teams make. Just to talk a little bit more about the Perham key players or keys to the game, I think, Perham, they've had 7 turnovers thus far and through 3 games, and Little Falls has only had 1 turnover. So I think Perham really needs to take care of the football. I think if the football is in Little Falls' hands too much, I think they're going to put more points on the scoreboard tonight. So.
Well, that's one of the things you touched on, Grant. Last week, this Little Falls team, a high-scoring affair, losing their first game of the year to Morris 36-29. The Yellow Jackets, totally different affair in that contest, losing 13-9 to East Grand Forks, where the time of possession in that game, East Grand Forks doubled the amount of time that Perham had the football. And you can just tell East Grand Forks was able to get just enough to continue their drives, and they did a good job of doing that and keeping the Yellow Jacket offense off the field. You mentioned that it could be a 24-19 or 24-17 type game. I wouldn't be surprised to see the game in the 30s with the way both these quarterbacks are and their weapons if they can get open. I think another key, you mentioned Blaze Schmidt and protecting the football. That's going to be huge for the Yellow Jackets. They got to find a way to control the drives, move the ball, limit the turnovers games. I know one of my favorite head coaches talks about, being ahead in the plus-minus, and I think that's a big key tonight, where the Yellow Jackets have been behind in that battle the last few weeks.
Yeah, you think about last week with Perham and East Grand Forks, too. Their offense is slow. It's methodical. You kind of know what's going to happen. And they like to control the game clock offensively. And Perham's defense was out there a lot, as you mentioned a couple minutes ago. And Little Falls, their last couple of games, they barely edged out a win over East Grand Forks 2 weeks ago. So, I anticipate Little Falls kind of doing the same thing, running the football, passing it evenly. But I think another key for Perham, too, is you have to establish a run game. I think they only had 51 total yards of rushing last week against East Grand Forks. So you got to get that up to 80 to 120, and then that's going to make the outside linebackers and linebackers kind of bite a little bit more, and that opens up different routes for the receivers and Perm's quarterback to hit them in the open spot. So, yeah, I agree. I think if Perm can establish a run and move the football and then do some play action or a little bit of jets, get on the outside of these athletic Little Falls defenders, I think this could be very well a 30 to 24 game. But I do think if both defenses step up, both defenses of these two teams are very, very solid. So I think it's more towards the lower end of the scoreboard, Jason.
We'll find out how it plays out. We thank you for tuning in to the Budget Blinds pregame show. We'll take a quick timeout, come back here to the Ted Minover Field on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
1 in 5 high school students use e-cigarettes or vapes. Some of them, like Juul, are so slim and sleek that they look like a flash drive. That's why e-cigarettes and vapes are so appealing to kids. There are more than 7,000 flavors, and they're sold where kids shop, online and in convenience stores. Most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is highly addictive and can harm brain development as teens grow. No amount of nicotine is safe for youth. Like it or not, we are a target. This message is brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Health.
Hi, this is Mike from Magnitude Sports. I'd like you to do me a favor if you would. Subscribe to this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. The channel is owned by a family I've known for over 2 decades and features some sports stars from previous Magnitude Sports broadcasts. So if you're the type of guy that likes fishing, hunting, dogs, you can get all that and more right here on the Dakota Fins and Feathers YouTube channel. You can also find them on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's educational, it's captivating, it's fun. It's Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe today.
At Great Clips, we use online check-in to help NHL player Jack Hughes achieve game day flow faster, so he can do more with his time off the clock. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
At Great Clips, we use clip notes to save NHL player Cale Makar's haircut details, so he's always confident in his hockey hair. Because with a name like Cale, you gotta sport great salad. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
For over 30 years, Budget Blinds, based out of Detroit Lakes, has been serving Perham, Fergus Falls, Park Rapids, and the surrounding area. Whether you need blinds, shutters, or drapes, check out the entire inventory online at budgetblinds.com. Budget Blinds is backed by the #1 provider for window coverings in North America and is your local window coverings expert. Visit them online today, budgetblinds.com, or give them a call at 218-206-9599. That's 218-206-9599 and online at budgetblinds.com.
When one of us comes up short,
we all come up short.
There's no vape in team.
Think there are only school supplies in your child's backpack? Think again. 5 e-cigarettes were hiding in plain sight. Parents, do your homework.
Learn more about vaping at health.mn.gov/e-cigarettes.
I have 3 amazing kids, and it can be a bit complicated.
All right, you guys, you ready?
But there's nothing else like it in the world.
Bye, honey.
Traveling with kids is on another level.
Yay, let's go.
I appreciate all the extra help I can get when we fly.
Hi, how can I help?
I'm honored to get every passenger to their destination.
I'm so grateful that I've been able to fly with my 3 young kids.
At Frontier, we get it. We're flyers too, and we believe the sky is for everyone.
Welcome back into the press box here at the Ted Minover Field on the Budget Blinds pregame show on the Magnitude Sports Media Network, I'm Jason Groth with Grant Durkheisen as we get ready to go for tonight's game between the Little Falls Flyers with a record of 2-1, 1-1 in the Midwest Red, taking on the Yellow Jackets with a record of 1-2 overall, 0-2 in the Midwest Red division. Now we'll take a look quickly at our starting lineups tonight, brought to you by Lakes Ace Hardware. Get your favorite Benjamin Moore or Magnolia paint colors or color match any color today at Lakes Ace Hardware in downtown Perham. Starting lineups for the Yellow Jackets when they're on offense. Starting across the line, it'll be Jackson Vetch at left tackle, Cash Burke at a left guard, Carson Byer the center, Jack Wangler and Dylan Ralston the right guard and right tackle, and Ashton Detloff at tight end. Quarterback tonight, Blaze Schmidt. He'll be joined in the backfield by Hudson Hackle and Braylon Rock, and then in the wide receivers, Tyrus Goudron and Gage Onenson are in the backfield. When the Yellow Jackets are on defense, this is how they'll look. Across the line, Dylan Ralston, Cash Burke, Jackson Vetch, and Braylon Rock. The linebackers, Sawyer Dilbeck, Carson Byer, Hudson Hackle, and Ty Rooney. Corners tonight, Gage Onenson, Mason Happel, and at safety is Blaze Schmidt. That's the Yellow Jackets starting lineup, how they're going to look offensively and defensively, brought to you by Lakes Ace Hardware. Now for Little Falls, across the line, it'll be Alex Toma, Rylan Mickelson, Jake Dahlberg, and Jacob Vetter, and Drew Erickson. The wide receivers tonight, Eddie Sobiek, Isaac Olson, Jackson Jansky, and running backs in the backfield, Ivan Petrich and Hank LeClaire. The quarterback, again, Gavin Anderson. When the Flyers are on defense, they have the look of this: Jacob Vetter, Rylan Mickelson, Jake Dahlberg, and Ivan Petrich along the defensive line. Linebackers, Joey Walensky, Hank LeClaire, Ben Borstad, Jackson Jansky, and then the cornerbacks, Tariq Toure and Eddie Sobiek, and the safety is Isaac Olson. And Grant, you were touched on the offensive keys, the things that we could expect to see from both teams offensively. Now let's take a look at that defensive side of the football.
Yeah, I think defensively for Perm, they run a 4-4 cover 3, so they have 4 down linemen and 4 linebackers, and they're in a cover 3 defense. And they'll occasionally go man, but it'll be interesting how they match up with Little Falls. Is Isaac Olson, number 1, is he's a stud. He's a senior, and he's got 105 pounds, and he's 6'2", and I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone over the top of him as a zone guy and a guy that's man on just to kind of take him away. We'll see what happens in about 10-15 minutes here. And then defensively for Little Falls, they actually go a 4-2, and then they man everybody else. So they have 5 D-backs, essentially. They might mix in a couple linebackers to line up against the running backs, depending on formations and their scout and preparation things. But they'll man up 5 guys, and they'll rely heavily on their 4 down linemen and their 2 inside linebackers. So a little bit different schemes on both sides, Perm and Little Falls. It's exciting to see 2 different types of defense going at it against very similar offenses.
One of the things you touched on early in the pregame show, Gavin Anderson, a left-handed quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
How does that change the preparation? As you know, I know as you a former coach and kind of knowing the insides and outs, what's kind of the changes the preparation of the week going ahead facing the lefty, especially on kind of a short week?
Yeah, I think it's a big change because you think about offensively, you're either on the left hash, the middle of the field, or the right hash. And depending on what hash you're at, you always have to be aware of, especially this quarterback, he loves to roll out to his left. And most of the time when you see quarterbacks, they roll to their right. Sometimes they'll roll left, but it's hard to turn their shoulder and throw it on a dime. So I think, in preparation, I think you have to always make sure you're aware of where the ball is at on the field. And specifically, if that quarterback does roll out, you have to know your assignments on the edge. And then coming off the hand, obviously, it's just like baseball. It's a lot different when you're up on top of the diamond there. And as you throw it, a lot of times they can hide the football a little bit better just because it's different. And this quarterback's not real tall. He's about 5'10", so I think it'll be even harder for those defensive linemen to kind of see where he's at. And it's just a different adjustment. You see maybe 1 left-handed quarterback on the season, maybe 2. Most of the time, honestly, it's 0. So, yeah, it's different.
A lot of games we've talked about, I've touched on, I run in some of the pro football games, and you see teams when they're crashing in on the edge, how important today in a game like this against a different quarterback that you're used to seeing who can have mobility, keep and contain on the edge and not trying to get sucked up inside.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think, defensive line perspective, you always coach get to the box. So if you can break where the line of scrimmage at, get 3 yards, stop and break down and evaluate where the play is going or the quarterback has it. But specifically for these guys, when he likes to roll out to the left and throw on the dime, you kind of are stuck in the middle. You don't want to bite too hard because then he'll just dump it off to a crossing route or maybe a corner or a comeback or something like that. But, yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword because they run a quick trap right up the middle with their running back who's very, very good. So I think every single guy defensively has to communicate and be assignment sharp.
And tonight, a unique thing we haven't really touched on. Yes, it is the first meeting between these two teams, Grant, but for Perham, it is homecoming, and you always know there's always a little extra activities going into the game tonight here for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, whenever it's homecoming week, it's all about the kids, and the kids love to have homecoming and activities in school, but that also comes with a lot of distractions, and so your job as a coach is to make sure you have your team ready and prepared come Friday, and that starts from Sunday night coaches meetings all the way through Thursday when you review everything. But you also want to tell the kids, enjoy this moment. It's such a short time of your life as a high school athlete, and there's really something special about Friday Night Lights. I mean, the community kind of rallies behind the football team, as it does other sports too, because it's the beginning of a new year. There's new seniors, there's new sports teams, new everything within the school too. So, again, as a coach, your job is to prepare them, but you also want to have some fun at the same time too, Jason.
And it's a new era technically for the Yellow Jackets. Jesse Hine at the helm, the new head coach for the Yellow Jackets. His first homecoming week as a head coach. Yes, he's been an assistant before, but have to navigate some of those things that, as a coach throughout the week. That's always unique. But tonight, now you get back to it here on the gridiron fields, looking sharp. Both teams ready to go. And, the Yellow Jackets trying to get back on the winning ways after suffering a tough loss last week against East Grand Forks. And again, before that, they lost to Detroit Lakes. And you look on the other side, Little Falls, they're 2-1, sitting here looking to try to build on that and make some waves, because this is their first year in the Midwest Red Conference, and they want to try to make some waves.
Yeah, Little Falls, they're a 4A school, so if Perm were to escape with the win tonight, that's a lot of extra points as far as QRF. But with this matchup too, I still expect Perm to get a couple more wins and get above that 500 mark before we see playoffs come over MEA and you start to prepare for that.
Should be an exciting one. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. We thank you for tuning in to the Budget Blinds pregame show here on the Magnitude Sports Network.
There is a voice inside of you. Do you hear it? An ember burning deep within, calling you to gather your tribe, beckoning you deep into the wild, and instilling in you the courage of 10 Wolverines. You know that voice.
Yep, it's me, your inner otter, and I want you to visit findyourinnerotter.com to explore all that Ottertail Lakes Country, Minnesota has in store for you. See you soon.
One of our core values at United Community Bank is reinvesting in the communities we serve. I personally take great pride in this, as I'm a 5th generation in our family here at United Community Bank. We've been here for over 100 years. We take a great sense of pride in sort of that reciprocal relationship we have with our community, that we need our community members and they need us, and we love giving back and reinvesting.
I didn't know what a derecho was. Didn't know that kind of storm existed. I didn't worry a bit about my coverage. It did not let me down. I was not caught blindsided. The secret is to have an agent that gets you insured for your needs. If you don't have Farm Bureau, you don't have good insurance.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Michelle Beck in Perham at 218-345-4010.
Reuter Family Dentistry, with locations in Perham and Wadena, welcomes new patients. Come meet the friendly and professional team and experience for yourself what it is patients love about Reuter Family Dentistry.
It's just nice to be in a small hometown knowing that you have a local dentist that cares about you, knows you, and wants to do what's best for you and your family.
Welcome back to the Magnitude Sports Network here at the Ted Minover Field here in Perham as we get ready to go for the Yellow Jackets taking on the Little Falls Flyers tonight on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. We thank you for tuning in to the Budget Blinds pregame show here as we get ready to go for tonight's game. I'm Jason Groth with Grant Durkheising, as it should be a fun one here on the Magnitude Sports Network. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Frontier Airlines, Great Clips, Dakota Fins and Feathers, Budget Blinds, Ray Sports and Marine, Waterfront Recreational, Perham Health, State Agency, Horizons Realty, Perham Chamber of Commerce, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Lakes Area Co-op, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Central Market. We'd also like to thank Nice Family Sales, Lakes Ace Hardware, EOT Insurance, KLN Family Brands, United Community Bank, and their sponsorship of our scoreboard, Rooter Family Dentistry, and the J&L Nutrition and the Backyard. And get ready for now. Coming up, your KLN Family Brands kickoff. KLN Family Brands, apply today and build your tomorrow. The Yellow Jackets won the toss. They deferred their option to the second half, as Hudson Hackle has become a weapon for the Yellow Jackets on special teams. They'll kick things away. And Little Falls will get ready to return. On your screen, the Yellow Jackets celebrating homecoming again, home black with gold and white. The Flyers in their road whites with purple and black. As we get ready to go for Friday Night Lights here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network, we thank you for tuning in. Isaac Olson back to receive. We touched on him in the pregame show, big speedster.
Yep.
And they are going to kick it away from him to the near side. Scooped up at the 16. Fake the pass across. That's Joey Walensky on the return. Gets out to the 29.
See, Jason, that's a smart move to squib kick it like that, because last week against Morris, they actually fielded it and they threw it clearly across the field and they almost scored a touchdown. They won on the other teams. It was about the 30 or 35-yard line. So smart move by Perm's kickoff team.
So they'll set up on the right hash. We'll get our first look at quarterback Gavin Anderson tonight. As they come to the line here on the Magnitude Sports Network, we thank you for tuning in again. Wilson Sobiek to the left.
Looks like Perm's in there 4-4 with their outside linebacker lining up against their stud receiver number 1.
Coming in late is Ivan Petrich. Now they get set. Send the man in motion. Going there is LeClaire. Pump fake. Anderson now rolls left. Off balance throw across the field. Incomplete. He was looking for LeClaire on that one.
Yeah, see with that jet motion out wide, first play of the game like we talked about pregame, that's that quarterback. And no one's even rushing him. He just had that initial instinct to let's get out to the left and I'm going to throw it on the run just a little bit high. Otherwise, that would have been a great play.
Brings up second down as Anderson misses on his first pass of the night. And this is a team, you touch on it, like to go quick. Then they break the huddle. Two receivers left, one on the right side. The one on the right is Jackson Jansky, another guy that we touched on.
Yep.
And the gun, Anderson. He will hand it off. Cut up, but losing his footing there, not getting much on the play, was LeClaire. He got tripped up and brought down at the 33.
Yeah, so that formation's a gun eye, and then twins on the left and a single receiver on the near side here. And I think they're just kind of getting a feel right now, Jason, for Perm's defense, and offensive coordinator-wise for Little Falls is doing a couple of different things to see how they match up and if they are doing tendencies in which they scouted with the last couple of weeks. So
they just took off Petrich out of the field, brought in another wide receiver on 3rd and long here for the Flyers in their opening possession of tonight's game.
They love the spread game. I expect double twins, maybe an empty formation. Here's a double twins look. With the zone, there's a lot of open gaps here.
Anderson looks things over. He's got it back to his left, rolls to his left, fires far side, pass complete, breaks the tackle, and lunging forward for the first down is Isaac Olson. Anderson to Olson, and that's a combination we'll expect to hear a lot tonight in the first down there.
Yep, that's a great connection with the quarterback receiver there. They've been doing it all 3 games, and they're off to a hot start too here.
Clock running at 10:50 in this opening quarter, the opening drive for the Flyers. And the Flyers coming off a tough loss where they were defeated by Morris area, Chokio, Alberta, 36-29.
Here they are in a trips formation. Left hash.
One receiver to the left. He looks left. Quick pass, too strong and too wide. Looking for the intended receiver. Looked like Derek Young on the far side.
Yeah, good coverage there by Perham's outside linebacker and cover 3 safety covering the deep thirds there.
That's Dilbeck over there. Interesting chess match we're going to see tonight between these two defenses, defense and offensive battle here. One receiver left, trips to the right, one back to the right of Anderson. He's going to hand it off to LeClaire. He goes off left edge into Yellow Jacket territory, brings a couple defenders with him into the Yellow Jacket 40 and down at about the 39. It's first down for the Flyers on the big run there by LeClaire.
Yeah, again, like we talked about in the pregame, that's a quick trap. So the guard pulls and traps ideally a 3 technique defensively, and it's just a quick handoff, and then the play side tackle goes and blocks the linebacker, and you can see there's a huge valley. It's kind of like a flat S route in which the running back wants to attack it.
They're getting ready to approach that Reuter Family Dentistry red zone. Here are the Flyers. They 1st and 10 at the 40. Come out with 2 receivers right to the left, the back to the right. That's LeClaire. Anderson's now going to roll right, pumps, fires, pass, come in and out of the hands there. He had his receiver Olsen open, but it drops incomplete, brings up 2nd down as we hit the 10-minute mark in our opening quarter.
Again, pretty good coverage by Perham secondary. As you see the rollout to the right, he has to fully turn his shoulders, and he didn't quite do that, so he threw a little bit short. And if you get those shoulders around, it's going to be either right on point or even a little bit high, Jason.
Bring up 2nd down. As they break the huddle with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Handoff LeClaire, cuts back to the right side against the grain, gets down to the 35.
Similarly, 2 plays ago, that's a quick trap, quick handoff, looking to trap the 3 technique defensive tackle and a gain of a couple yards there.
Call it 3rd and 5 to 35. It'll be an interesting decision if the Yellow Jackets get to stop here, because you're in that area where a punt doesn't really do you any good, and it's too long of a high school field goal.
Yeah, I think I'd go for it, given the ball's at the 35, and if they get a couple more yards here, maybe do a hard count. Otherwise, set the tone offensively for Little Falls. You don't want to give up the ball right away.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right side. LeClaire the big back to the left of Anderson. Anderson steps, fires near side, incomplete. Too strong, looking for Jansky, and too high. Now it's 4th down.
Yep. Once again, good coverage. Number 2, Hudson Hackle. 4th and 5 here. I think you try a hard count. Maybe you call a reset, call a play. Otherwise, you quick punt it.
One of the things I think is kind of unique too, you talked about the spread offense. It's kind of putting some pressure on these linebackers for the Yellow Jackets here tonight.
Yeah, I think Perham adjusted. One of their outside linebackers, Braylon Rock, is now on the defensive line. So you want to get a little bit more speed outside in that space with more of a D-back type of personnel.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right side. LeClaire to the left of Anderson. Anderson pumps, fires over the middle, incomplete. He had the man.
Yep.
He had Isaac Olsen, but Olsen unable to corral it, and a turnover on downs.
Yep.
We'll give the ball to the Yellow Jackets and a big stop.
Big play defensively for Perham there, even though it's kind of a mistake there right through the hands of the receiver. Now it gives Perham's a chance to see what exactly they're going to do on defense, and I think the offensive coordinator for the Yellow Jackets has a pretty good idea.
Yellow Jacket coaching staff: Jesse Hine, Lance Rock, Brian Robertson, Kyle Knutson, John McEachern, Trevor Seaman, and Josh Fuller. Little Falls head coach Joe Bartos. He's assisted by Jonathan Larson, Aaron Sinclair, John Welly, Aaron Bring, and Jack Marmon. Handoff goes to Hackle, right side, drives that power and that pile forward to about the 40. We'll call it the 39 on a nice run there on 1st down.
Yeah, so far through the first couple games, that's Perham's favorite formation. It's gun split backs with an eye tight end on the left or the right, depending on, and then it's just a quick dive or like a zone.
One of the things the Yellow Jackets have kind of struggled is staying ahead of the chains and getting caught in long situations, but here, 2nd down and a good opportunity. Hackle and Rock in the backfield. Handoff goes to Braylon Rock, left side. Sends his blocker forward, drives forward into Little Falls territory, and has a 1st down.
Yep, same exact play, going the other way, middle of the field, let's call it. Hudson Hackle took the first one. All that was Braylon Rock, number 3. Good block up front, and Braylon Rock's blockers right in front of me. Gave him a little extra nudge there to get a couple extra yards for that 1st down, move the chains.
Cross midfield to the 46. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors here tonight. Central Market, the fresh place in Perham and Detroit Lakes, offering the freshest meat, produce, bakery, and deli products possible with great value for your money as the Yellow Jackets come to the line. Schmidt looks things over, one receiver left, one to the right side. Fakes a handoff, looks right, fires right. Looking for Onitz, the pass is intercepted. And stepping in front and getting the pick.
Yeah, same formation again. That's a play action call there. Obviously that's Perham's quarterback, his favorite receiver over there, and I think you threw it a couple seconds too late. You got to throw that ball earlier, and you had him beat, but you threw it a second and a half too late, and that's the result.
Tariq Toure stepped in front of that one and gets the pick for the Flyers, and the first big play really of the game in the turnover column goes to the Flyers, and they lead in the plus-minus category right now, 1-0 on the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that was one of our keys to the game, Jason, is for Perham, take care of the football in their first offensive possession. They're giving right back to Little Falls.
And one thing I think Little Falls coach was picked up on, Blake Schmidt didn't look any other direction on that one, is now you go spread again.
Yep.
Handoff. That's LeClaire right up the middle, crosses back to the near side, gets wrapped up. Eventually brought down on the play by Ty Rooney. He was in on the tackle.
Again, Little Falls running that quick trap. Doesn't matter the formation. The idea is still the same. Same blocking assignments for the linemen, just different receivers to spread out Perham's defense a little bit.
2nd down and 5 for the Flyers. Again, a quick pick also plays a role in the time of possession game.
Yep.
Two receivers go to the left, to the right side, now in the gun. Sending a man in motion, going to the motion is Jansky. Anderson fires left, looking for Jansky, and that's picked off. Stepping in front and getting the interception, Sawyer Dilbeck.
Yeah, great read by Sawyer Dilbeck. He jumped it right at the perfect time. Perham, defensively, they're off to a hot start with that pick. Now they're on the 20-yard line, moving forward right in the end zone.
That'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, just outside the Reuter Family Dentistry red zone. Handoff, Rock comes across left side. Gets about 3 on the play.
Good blocking up front from Perham. The saying is if you can get 3 to 4 yards every time you give the football, you keep doing it until they stop it.
Inside the Reuter Family Dentistry red zone at the 17 for the Yellow Jackets as they're looking to try to turn a turnover into points. Handoff, Hackle. This time they go to the right side. Gets swarmed under, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe forward for a yard.
Yeah, too much pressure on the outside for Perham to block that. And I don't know if there was a quick fake there or not, but there just wasn't any space for the running back to get through there.
3rd down. We'll call it 5 for the Yellow Jackets. Little Falls unable to turn their turnover into points. So the Yellow Jackets hoping to turn this one into points here in the first quarter with 6 minutes to go. Handoff left side. Rock trying to get to the corner. Cuts up. Dribble. Delivers a couple of hits. Continues to move the pile forward inside the 10. He's going to have a 1st down for the Yellow Jackets.
Wow, what a run for Braylon Rock. He carried 3-4 guys there all the way down to the 9-yard line. But the key to that play, Jason, is how well is the receiver going to block the D-back? And I think he kind of whiffed on him a little bit. He holds that block. He might be able to get a couple more yards, and that's one less guy that's dragging on him.
It'll be 1st and goal. They'll call it the 10-yard line as the chain gang takes a quick breather. As Braylon Rock will come out for this play. Hackle will be the lone back. One receiver right, one left. Kudrow moves in motion, gets the handoff on the sweep to the right side. He's got the corner. Now cuts the right side. Now makes a nifty move into the end zone for a score, and the Yellow Jackets strike first on a 10-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, King right formation, Jet. Tires Coudron looks like he's got some wheels and he got the edge there, and that's the key to Jet and running in is if you can get the edge, get it. If you don't see anything, cut up and go north right away. And he had made a good read there, and really all you got to do is reach for the pylon and tap that pylon. He ran right inside of it. So good play call by Perham's offensive coordinator there and line up against the PAT here.
Hudson Hackle the kick. Snap, spot, the kick on its way, and that is good. And the Yellow Jackets strike first. They lead 7-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Magnitude Sports Network.
Ray's Sport and Marine in Perham has you covered for all your recreational needs. Ray's carries a large inventory of Lund boats, Bennington pontoons, plus Viaggio pontoons. They also carry the Yamaha line of ATVs and UTVs, as well as the full line of Honda Power Sports. Stop in and check out all of what Ray's Sport and Marine has to offer. Good luck to all Perham athletes, and go Yellow Jackets!
Welcome back on the Magnitude Sports Network. The Yellow Jackets strike first, turning a turnover into points. They lead 7-0 on a 10-yard touchdown run by Tyus Kudron. He got to the corner on the outside. Hudson Hackle with the extra points. The Yellow Jackets lead 7-0 as we get ready for your KLN Family Brands kickoff. KLN Family Brands, a proud people first company. Interested in joining their growing family? Head over to klnfamilybrands.com. Nice kickoff by Hackle into the end zone, and bringing it out is Olsen, which I believe in high school you can't do that. I thought it's, which now it's going to actually work for the Yellow Jackets. They're going to discuss, I believe, but they're going to say it's the Yellow Jacket ball, or Little Falls ball at the 10.
Yeah, Jason, I'm pretty sure if you catch a ball in the end zone, it should be automatically at the 25-yard line, but it might be a new rule this year. I guess I'm not updated on the rules, but maybe it's 2 feet in the end zone. I guess I don't have an answer for that one.
I think Little Falls is wanting an explanation, and because the Perham sideline, you probably couldn't see it on our camera, you might be able to, was up in arms a little bit about that one right away when he took it out, thinking, hey, great kick, we got him the touchback, and Little Falls is thinking, hey, now we want that touchback because it's 1st and 10 at the 10.
Yeah, for sure. From a kicking standpoint, you want to kick it in the end zone or kick it right on the number, so it's a tough return for them. So, yeah, if I were a Perm coach, I'd say, what are we doing here? What's the call? Let's at least get together, officials, and talk about it and give me a reason.
And it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 10. Tough break there. Initially, it was going to be a tough break for the Yellow Jackets because it looked like a good return, but good job by special teams to get there and swarm under. And it ends up being a tough decision. The Flyers are pinned back deep, 1st and 10 at their own 10. But this offense has the ability to pick up chunk plays and big yardage. Anderson in the gun. They'll go to LeClaire off the left edge. Tries to cut upfield, gets swarmed under. A nice job by the Yellow Jacket defense there, but LeClaire gets 3. Make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, another quick trap. Nothing there. He tried to bounce it out wide and contain on the edge there for Perham was excellent. Brandon Sandberg, number 87, made the play.
About 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in your opening quarter. Anderson, handoff, LeClaire straight ahead. Hole opened up in the middle, and he plowed forward, got about 4, and it'll be 3rd and about 2 coming up.
I think that's a great adjustment. A Little Falls offensive coordinator there. You give him a lead block. You've ran trap 6-7 times now, and the last couple times it's been blown up. So get a lead blocker in there. Try to get an extra blocker out front for your running back.
3rd and short. Three receivers to the left. Handoff. LeClaire straight ahead. He plows forward. It's going to be close on the spot. An initial spot looks like it's short. And that will bring in the special teams unit on 4th and short. Nothing there for LeClaire. Gage Onenson will be back in punt formation. Kicking will be Derek Young. Or, excuse me, Joey Walensky will be back in punt formation.
Yeah, I anticipate Little Falls doing almost like a rugby kick here. What they've shown is the punter will kick it and he'll run to the side here, and you got a couple different options there. You can run it if you see an opening, otherwise you try to kick it onto the numbers or the hash.
Onenson back at his own 45, low snap. And there's that kick, as you said. It comes to the near side, takes a nice hop. Onenson picks it up at the 43. Crosses midfield quickly into Little Falls territory, takes a hit out of bounds at the 46.
As a punt returner, you got to do everything you can to keep the ball in front of you, but catch it and get a return, because if you just let it go, that's a loss of yards for your offense. And then, obviously, however far it rolls, you got to make up that ground. So good job by the punt returner there for Perham.
Best field position of the night. Actually, second best field position. They had great field position after that interception, which they turned into points. But outstanding field position on the Flyers side of the 50, and they'll start at the 36-yard line. Schmidt in the gun with one receiver right, one on the left side. Hackle and Rock, the lone backs. Handoff, Rock, left side. He makes a nice cut. Now cuts back to the right side, drives forward. He's going to have a first down across the 25 to the 24.
Yeah, pregame show we talked about Perham. They kind of have two stud running backs, the two-headed monster, and Braylon Rock and Hudson Hackle. Right now, they're moving the football on the grass. Let's keep it going.
I know Rock has been battling a little bit of injury, but you can tell he looks healthy tonight and has got a lot of spring in that step tonight for him in the backfield. One receiver right, one to the left side. Again, Rock hits to the right. Hackle to the left, fake the handoff. Now it goes to Rock on the left on the give again, but now he gets tripped up there at the 25. He was close to breaking one, gets brought down. It'll be second and long.
Yeah, good defensive play there. If I'm Little Falls, I think you got to start doing something. You got to blitz it back in one of the gaps, try to clog up one of those gaps offensively for Perham. Otherwise, do a twist, mix it up a little bit. I think they've just been based so far.
Schmidt gets the play from the sideline, brings it back to the huddle on second down and 10 at the 2-minute mark here in our opening quarter. The Yellow Jackets lead on United Community Bank scoreboard by a score of 7-0. Two receivers right, one to the left side. Schmidt in the gun, Hackle to the right. Handoff, Hackle off the left side. Gets down to the 20. How he's brought down will be third down and about 6.
Perham's ran to the left 4 plays now this possession. They're on the left hash. A lot of times teams like to run on the small side of the field because teams will call their strength to the wide side of the field. So specifically the ball's on the left hash. Little Falls probably calls a strong left. But I expect them to either run it to the right here or do some type of play action on third long.
3 receivers right, Hackle to the left, the ball on the left hash. Schmidt looks, fires right, Coudron makes the reception, now cuts up field, dives forward, knew where the marker was, and picked up the first down. Nice pitch and catch and a nice play by Coudron, picks up the first down.
Yeah, good play call. Trips on the far side, going man coverage, get those guys out of there and have an underneath route, catch it, gain a 7-8 yards for a first down.
Inside the Reuter Family Dentistry red zone are the Yellow Jackets for the second time tonight. They struck first with a 10-yard touchdown run by Coudron on a run off the right edge. He got in, and now the Yellow Jackets looking to strike again. First and 10 at the 12. They can still pick up a first down without a touchdown. They'll go to Rock this time. Left side, that plays look familiar all drive. Inside the 10, he falls forward, second down.
Yeah, I think, Jason, that's the 5th time they've run that play. Maybe run a counter off of it, fake that, maybe play action off it. Do something to the opposite side here.
They called 2nd and 6 for the Yellow Jackets. And that will be the final play of our first quarter. The Yellow Jackets will take a 7-0 lead in the break on your United Community Bank scoreboard. We'll take a timeout here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
They ran that play 6 times.
Every day, thousands of dogs in the lakes area are told to stay. When they wanted to play at the Backyard Playcare, Doggy Daycare, or Playcare is the perfect spot for your dog. 100% supervised playtime and 100% fun in a brand new facility that opens this fall. Contact the Backyard Boarding and Playcare at 218-346-4104 or check us out on Facebook today.
At Waterfront Recreational LLC, the mission is to deliver high-quality and custom-built steps, decks, and docks so you can access and enjoy your property. We believe in hard work, honest and fair dealing, high-quality craftsmanship, and excellent customer service. Our products have proven results. We can't control the weather, but our docks remain rock solid in the windiest of conditions. We also offer boat storage in the wintertime. Call or text 218-298-1353 for more information about each of our services, or visit waterfrontrecreational.com today.
Welcome back. Yellow Jackets driving. Second down coming up out of the intermission. It'll be 2nd and 6. Yellow Jackets could still get a first down inside this Reuter Family Dentistry red zone. Handoff straight ahead, trying to pile through and moving that pile forward to the 4. That was Hackle on the carry.
Perham might have given Little Falls a taste of little medicine there. I think that was a quick trap, Jason. It might either a quick dive or a quick trap. I couldn't see if they were guard pulled or not.
It'll be 3rd and 1 inside the 5 at the 3 for the Yellow Jackets.
Little Falls is on their heels. There's not much energy on that defensive side of the ball right now.
Again, Falls backfield again behind Schmidt. Rock gets the handoff left side, plows in the end zone, touchdown Jackets. And the Yellow Jackets strike again on a 3-yard touchdown run by Braylon Rock, and the Yellow Jackets lead 13-0.
Yeah, nice job left side of the line there. You had a couple extra running backs as blockers too, and you just need to get a couple yards, and they punch it in here.
You mentioned it. The Little Falls defense kind of wore out a little bit, I think, on that drive. A powerful running drive, smash mouth style football from the Yellow Jackets gives them a 13-0 lead, capped off on a touchdown run by Braylon Rock, who did a lot of the work in that drive. Hudson Hackle for the extra points. Snaps low, but a good hold and a good kick. And just like that, the Yellow Jackets take a 14-0 lead. And with that, we'll take a quick timeout here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Hansen's Plumbing and Heating provides the highest quality products and services to ensure the comfort and safety of all their customers. It's what they do. Henry Hansen, later known as Hardware Hank, first opened the family hardware store in the early 1930s in Burgess, Minnesota. Today, they are proud to carry on his legacy of hard work and honesty through teamwork, fellowship, cutting-edge technology, and forward thinking. 218-346-2422 or make a visit in Perham, Burgess, or Detroit Lakes today. Hansen's Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood with expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware. You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware, right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back here to the 10 Mile Over Fields. We get ready for the KLN Friendly Brands kickoff. KLN Friendly Brands apply today, build your tomorrow. And you can take a look at how you can find us on social media, on X as well as YouTube, Magnitude Sports SN. Make sure to follow us and follow along. MagnitudeSN.com as well as we get ready for the kickoff here. As Hackle will short squib, takes a high hop, and it's picked up there. That's Walensky to the right side, and he gets brought down inside the 35 at the 34.
Yep, right idea to squib it there and keep it out of their hands of their couple of stud athletes. Might want to try a squib on the sideline, maybe on the hash a little bit more. Let the kickoff guys sprint down there and get down there.
That hop is the ones that you always talk about seeing on those onside kicks.
Yep.
You touch about on that sideline, it might throw a little confusion and allow your gunners on the speedsters on the outside to get there quicker too.
Exactly. There's a lot of green grass there. You just sprint and go get the ball.
Well, the Flyers will set up shop looking to answer at their own 34, 1st and 10. Anderson in the gun. He's got Leclerc to his left. Or actually, no, that's not Leclerc. That's Walensky who gets the handoff. Goes right side, drives forward, gets about 2 before he stood up by Braylon Rock and a few others on that side of the field.
Yeah, you see the pulling guard there on the left side, pulled to the right. Quick trap again. This time different running back. Walensky got it.
He is able to power forward to get, I would say, maybe 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, good second and third, fourth effort there.
Three receivers left, one to the right side. Anderson in the gun. Looks left, fires left, pass in and out of the hands of Jensky and dropped. He looked upfield before he had the football.
Yeah, he sure did. A couple of comebacks there. Slot guy, middle receiver, and then the guy on the near side, I think, did a corner, maybe even come back too. But Little Falls, you got to start catching the ball if they want to keep this a close game here.
3rd down and 7, and it's a pivotal one early. I know a lot of time left, but a 14-0 game and momentum totally right now on the Perham Yellow Jackets sideline. This is a big 3rd down. 3 receivers left, one to the right side. Anderson has time, fires, intercepted. Blaze Schmidt picks that one off. Comes along the near side, gets driven out of bounds.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the momentum there. Another huge swing for Perham as far as momentum. Little Falls looks like the air is getting taken out of the tires here a little bit. And Little Falls, they don't get the ball at half. And Perham's going to get the ball again. So Little Falls, we got to pick it up a little bit.
A Little Falls, Anderson kind of locked in. We talked about Blaze Schmidt doing that a little bit. Anderson locked in over the middle, fired it too strong. There was a couple of Yellow Jackets in the middle there too, but the throw was too strong. And Schmidt playing deep center has safety there, picks that off.
Yeah, bad read. Just throw it out of bounds and punt it away.
Handoff now to Hackle. Tackled upstairs and gets down at about the 36. But the Yellow Jackets have done a great job. We talked about the keys, moving the ball on the ground, and they're staying ahead of the chains, which they've needed to do. And that's been one of the keys of success for this Yellow Jacket squad, and especially head coach Jesse Heim.
Yeah, and that opens up the passing game too, Jason. They're one and another there. Last week they only had 51 rushing yards, and I bet they already have close to 65, 70.
And the time of possession game has definitely been dominated by the Yellow Jackets in the first half. High snap, handoff to Rock. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, and then gets drilled. He got laid out there. Jacob Dahlberg finished it off.
Yeah,
was not letting Rock go anywhere.
I'm pretty sure I saw a hand on that running back's face mask. Kind of ripped his head sideways, and I didn't see a flag thrown, but I don't know what the official was looking at there. And then, yeah, he kind of got T-bone there.
3rd and about 12, we'll call it, for the Yellow Jacket offense. And you can tell right now the Yellow Jackets definitely taking their time on the sideline, getting the play in, working that play clock. Something that they saw East Grand Forks do last week to perfection. Which I don't know if they want me to remind them of that, and those fans might not either, but they did a good job, did East Grand Forks in that one, and now the Yellow Jackets are going to take a timeout.
I think we had 12 men on the field right there because we had an empty formation and a back right next to the quarterback. So I believe we had 12 on the field. Good timeout there by head coach Jesse Heim.
We'll keep it here. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors once again, Frontier Airlines. Make sure to stay tuned for your Go Wild halftime show presented by Frontier Airlines. Visit flyfrontier.com today to learn about the Go Wild Pass and lock in one-way flights in and out of both Fargo and Minneapolis for as low as $15. We'd also like to thank Great Clips. Download the Great Clips app from the App Store to find the location nearest you today. Also, Dakota Fin and Feathers. If you love hunting and fishing, then you'll love Dakota Fin and Feathers on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel today. Also, Budget Blind for the sponsorship of the pregame show here on the Magnitude Sports Network. We'd like to thank Ray Sport Marine, Waterfront Recreational, Perham Health, New Horizons Realty, Perham Chamber of Commerce, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Lakes Area Co-op, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Central Market, Nice Family Sales, Lakes Ace Hardware, EOT Insurance, KLN Family Brands, United Community Bank, Rooter Family Dentistry, and J&L Nutrition in the backyard as we get ready to come out of the timeout. Yellow Jackets send a man in motion left to right. Schmidt looks, fires near side of the motion man, pitch and catch, and a nice catch near side by Easton Kennedy as he hauls that one inside just outside the Rooter Family Dentistry red zone.
Yeah, and see, when Little Falls runs man like that, you want to have a lot of crossing routes or some type of motion, and that defender's got to run all the way across the field too. You have a couple crossing routes and then a delayed, almost a deep flat route for a nice connection there.
I'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 22 for the Yellow Jackets. here on homecoming. They're looking to try to celebrate. The Flyers are hoping to spoil it, but they're going to need a big defensive stop here. Quick pass, far side. That's on. It's in and out. Comes back near side. Gets swarmed under. Actually, that was Mason Happel on the reception. Used to seeing the number 1, and there was not a double on that one. It was Happel on the reception. Gets 3 on the play.
Yeah, Perm receiver, nice idea there. A lot of times a defender will come and sprint at you and get a quick cutback. Sometimes you can juke that, but nice read by Little Falls corner there to make the play.
Now Onson back to the far side. Kudrow, the receiver, the near side. Rock and Hackle the backfield. Handoff from Rock. Now cuts back inside, but Little Falls did a good job. We talked about contain. They did a good job on that one. They'll bring up third down on the minimal gain there by Rock.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much dancing there by the running back. You want to see a hole, and you just got to hit it, go north, especially when you get into the red zone here. Get yards.
Just like that, we're in the Reuter Family Dentistry red zone here. On third and about 4, and the playbook wide open for the Yellow Jackets here because you're in, well, Hackle does have the boots, but you're in a good, I'd say it's 4-down territory here. At 14-0, it might be an opportunity to go for it on 4th down to try to send a message early.
Yes, for sure, especially because you get the ball at half.
3 receivers right, 1 back in the backfield. Schmidt looks right, fires right, pass. Complete. Happel with a nice juggling catch for the first down.
Ball thrown a little bit behind the receiver there. Happel, number 1. He catches it and does a little circus act for a gain of a couple more yards. Nice connection there.
One of the things we touched on in the pregame show, Blaze Schmidt lock it in. Usually on Gage Johnson has really spread the ball out well tonight. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 8. Schmidt under center, powerhouse backfield again. Handoff, Rock, left side, cuts back up the middle, gets hit at about the 4, driving forward, moving the pile forward, a late flag, a face mask. He'll be spotted down at the 2.
Yeah, excellent effort there. Keep it pushing. You know, linemen are pushing there. Get your other backs in there. If you're at a standstill, refs are going to blow the whistle early in high school football, so get your guys up there and get that extra push.
I'll wait for the official word, but the early indication was face mask for the back judge. It is a face mask on Little Falls. So it's going to be 1st and goal again for the Yellow Jackets. 1st and goal at the 2. Officially the 1. Schmidt's under center. He's going to leap forward and gets into the end zone for the touchdown on the QB sneak. Blaze Schmidt with the 1-yard touchdown run, and the Jackets extend the lead.
Yeah, great play call there by Perham. You're only a yard or 2 off. Just snap it and get a push and jump over everybody. Blaze Schmidt, as he's a basketball player and a baseball athlete too. So he's not just a football player and slinging it around the field. He's got a little bit of vertical as well.
So the Yellow Jackets extend the lead on the touchdown. And on our postgame show, we'll talk about our nice family sales drive to the game as Hackle gets ready for this one. Snap, spot, kick on its way, and Hackle is 3 for 3 on extra points. Our nice family sales drive of the game coming up in our postgame show. The Nice Family Sales Service Center can service all makes and models. Schedule your vehicle today by calling 218-346-5976. And on your United Community Bank scoreboard, the Yellow Jackets lead 21-0. We'll take a break on the Magnitude Sports Network.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock. With people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware. You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back on the Magnitude Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in. The Yellow Jackets looking sharp right now on the Flyers, leading 21-0. But as we've seen in film and looking at this matchup, this Flyer offense has the ability to score some points. Put up 30 against Piers. They put up 29 against Morris last week. As Hackle will kick it off here. This time they're going to kick it deep again. And now it will take a bounce and eventually roll into the end zone for the touchback. And dangerous read there by Isaac Olson, but it goes in the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, lucky bounce for Little Falls. That bounced twice, and it sat right on that half-yard line. Just creep right into the end zone there. Otherwise, you had 4 or 5 Perm guys that are ready to do some damage on that returner.
Make sure to stay tuned for the Go Wild Frontier Airline halftime show. We'll have scores. We'll recap this first half here and get you set up for the second half here on the Magnitude Sports Network. As we take a look at busy nights, high school sports in Minnesota tonight. We'll have score updates for you as we roll along. But now the Flyers looking to answer, trailing 21-0. Break the huddle with one receiver to the near side, 2 to the right. Anderson, who's throwing 2 picks tonight. Backs in the split eye. Handoff right side. Walensky trying to cut outside. Does get to the corner. Has some room. Gets to the outside. And Blaine Schmidt with a big tackle there. Driving the guy out of bounds. And it's 1st and 10. A nice run by Walensky on the far side.
Gun offset eye, just a simple lead play, and he ended up bouncing it outside. Didn't see anything right up the gap there. So a good read by the running back there. Lead block, also had a key block on the edge too for a first down, Little Falls.
Some scores quickly. East Grand Forks and Fergus Falls, 7-0. East Grand Forks leads that one closing towards the end of the first half. We'll try to take a look at some others as well. Anderson again in the gun. Backs to the left. Handoff this time. Walensky, he's been kind of the back that's been doing a nice job tonight with another positive run there for the Flyers. Makes it 2nd and 8.
Interesting how Little Falls, when they have those eye backs, that gun eye backs, their stud running back is their lead blocker, and he hasn't gotten any carries in that formation. We'll see if they make any adjustments going in the second half. Obviously, Little Falls believes in both the running backs, and Walensky's done a nice job so far.
Contest that a lot of people have their eyes on. I know Pequot Lake's no longer in our section this year, in the Section 8-3A, I should say. Esco leads Pequot Lake 21-0 the end of the first quarter there in that one. Handoff, no, Anderson keeps, runs into a wall and dives forward. And gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he faked the lead there. It's called a QB keep, and then you fake the lead to the backer, and then or the running back, and follow him and wherever he goes. Basically, it's just man-on blocking, I would assume.
DGF and Morris in a thriller. That's 14-7 in the second quarter, and that one. As it's 3rd down here for the Flyers. 5:25 and counting to go in our opening half. Yellow Jackets lead 21-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. I send 2 receivers left, 1 to the right side. Anderson in the gun. Sends the running backs out left. He's going to fire left flag on the play. In and out of the hands of Blaze Schmidt. He almost had his 2nd interception, but there's a flag in the backfield. I believe it's going to be a formation penalty because that was thrown instantly. And it is a illegal shift. Yellow Jackets will decline it, make it 4th down.
Yeah, you can't have 2 guys shift like that at the same time. You can go one guy, and then he's got to get set for a count, and then you can shift another guy. But mistake by Little Falls. Now they got to punt it away to Perm with 5 minutes to go.
And we got a timeout on the field called by Little Falls. We'll take a quick break with them here on the Magnitude Sports Network.
New Horizons Realty is a full-service real estate company who has been helping buyers and sellers in Lakes Country for over 25 years. They understand the local market conditions because they are from here, live here, and have lifelong careers in real estate. Get a free estimate with an experienced, local, laid-back, and friendly agent that's a part of a team you can trust and will go to work for you. Visit permrealestate.com or call 218-346-7767 to speak with Chad and his dedicated team at New Horizons Realty in Perm.
Welcome back on the Magnitude Sports Network. Again, you can find us on X at Magnitude SN. Also, you're watching us on YouTube. We're simulcasting on the Perm Yellow Jacket Activities account as well. We thank you for tuning in on that. Find us on Facebook as well as Instagram, Magnitude Sports or Magnitude SN. Thank you for tuning in. As the Flyers are going to be about to punt again. Rugby style kick to the right side, and a nice boot there. Backs up on it, and he drops it at the 22, regroups, picks it up, and gets to the 25. Very dangerous situation, but the Yellow Jackets will take over after the nice punt there by Walensky.
Yeah, sometimes that happens as a returner. You take your eye off the ball for half a second, even if your eyes are on it the whole time. To catch a wobbly punt like that is sometimes difficult, even though it's really good weather conditions too. But you got to give him credit. He didn't give up on it. He jumped right on it.
And as a special teams guy, I'm sure that gets your heart racing a little bit, even here in the booth.
Yeah, some of the frustrating things, is those easy mistakes that you practice almost every single day. And the second thing is letting the punt go over your head and then it rolls another 20 yards. Those are two things that just should not happen because you rep it almost every day.
Under 5 to go, second quarter. The Yellow Jackets, we'll see if they try to chew clock. And they hand off Rock, first down off left side. Hackle with a nice lead block, but it's coming back. And another flag. There's 2 flags in the play. And that might be the reason why the hole opened up. Indeed it is. It's a holding on the Yellow Jackets.
I believe that's the first holding call of the game on Perm, though. As a coach, you tell your offensive linemen, get into them as much as you can, and sometimes you almost want to have the official make the call, and if they don't, then that might give you a little bit of an extra edge.
The Yellow Jackets' first time really backed up, too. As they're backed up after the holding penalty, 1st and 20. Definitely, I think, might change a little bit of what you elect to do here. The clock on your side. Both teams, 2 timeouts remaining, 4.5 to go in the first half. Rock, handoff left edge again, cuts back right side. He's going to get some of the penalty yards back. Gets to about the 20.
Yeah, I like the call, 1st and 20 or whatever it was. Just get yards on first down. Second down, maybe you see a screen here. You might see a jet get out in space, maybe a quick bubble, something like that.
This is one of those, I think, you look at it offensively for your Yellow Jacket, you don't want to make any mistake to give Little Falls any sort of momentum. A turnover here on a dangerous pass on 2nd and long really could change the tide of this game going into the break. Like you touched on, Yellow Jackets get the ball to start the second half. They won the toss, deferred their option. But here's a chance for your Little Falls defense to help your offense out, make a big play, and hopefully, if you're a Flyers fan or Flyer coaching staff player, turn some momentum on your side.
Yeah, for Perm, obviously the points are in Perm's favor right now. Just be safe with the call and make the right decision.
There's a nice decision there, running straight ahead as Hudson Hackle brings up 3rd down. And here it makes Little Falls think about, and there I was just going to say, do you use a timeout? When do you use it? And you do it right there. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 when we come back after this timeout.
Hi, this is Mike from Magnitude Sports. I'd like you to do me a favor if you would. Subscribe to this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. The channel is owned by a family I've known for over 2 decades and features some sports stars from previous Magnitude Sports broadcasts. So if you're the type of guy that likes fishing, hunting, dogs, you can get all that and more right here on the Dakota Fins and Feathers YouTube channel. You can also find them on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's educational, it's captivating, it's fun. It's Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe today.
Welcome back to the Magnitude Sports broadcast. The Yellow Jackets and the Flyers here on the Magnitude Sports Network. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, EOT Insurance. They're a sponsor of our post-game show. Grab a quote today by visiting EOTinsurance.com. We come back, 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 out of the break for the Yellow Jackets. The Flyers use one of their 2 timeouts. They only have 1 remaining with 3.5. Schmidt in the gun. 2 receivers right, 1 to his left. Quick pass near side, Kudron. Little Falls did a nice job reading it out and breaking it up, and a nice tackle there by Alex Toma. That was a nice job. The Flyers did a good job of reading that one.
Yeah, I like the call. Passes like that, you have to make sure that the pass is going forward, because if the receiver takes a couple steps backwards and the pass is backwards, that's a live football.
On our sister stream, Magnitude Sports, Park Rapids leads Roseville by a score of 27-0. Tune into that one. And now the Yellow Jackets are going to run the clock down and call timeout. With 2:41 to go, we'll take another break.
Yellow Jacket fans, a reminder that up-to-date schedules.
At Great Clips, we use online check-in to help NHL player Jack Hughes achieve game day flow faster, so he can do more with his time off the clock. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
At Great Clips, we use clip notes to save NHL player Cale Makar's haircut details, so he's always confident in his hockey hair. Because with a name like Cale, you gotta sport great salad. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
Back out of the timeout. Blaze Schmidt, punt formation. Back is Isaac Olsen. Schmidt boots that one away. Olsen backs up, lets it take a bounce, and it takes a flyer bounce for a moment, and it'll be down at the 40-yard line. Interesting. The yard back move on the spot, officially now right at the 40.
Yeah. See, as a special teams coach the last couple of years, that punt return to go and catch it. You can fair catch it. That's, they just lost 5-6 yards because he just let it bounce right in front of them.
1st and 10 for the Flyers. 2:30 to go, second quarter. Yellow Jackets lead 21-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Jason Groth and Grant Durkheisen, we thank you for tuning in tonight. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Anderson fires right. Pass is almost intercepted.
Yeah, now
Ty Rooney. Almost had pick 6.
Yep, now if you're Little Falls, now you do almost a very exact same call. Now you just add like a chair route. You pump it. I would guess Perham corner or outside backer would jump it, and you might have a guy wide open to walk into the end zone. I would call something very similar here.
Ty Rooney, the Perham Pirate legend, read that one well as he tried to break but just couldn't finish with the catch. But like you said, Anderson, as hard as Ty bit on that one, might open things up. Also with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side for 2nd down. Anderson jumps off a screen. Pass complete there for LeClaire. LeClaire with the 1st down across the 50 into Yellow Jacket territory to the 46. Stop the clock until the chains are moved.
Yeah, so we saw a pump fake there to the 3 receiver side, and then there was a running back screen there in the middle. That was close to catching it past the line of scrimmage, though, Jason, I think.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Flyers, looking to try to put some points on the board and get some momentum into the break. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left again. Anderson looks. Fires across the field, the far side, incomplete. Yeah, the man open, Edward Sobiak, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, Perham secondary playing a little bit further back compared to the previous possessions on defense. Again, Little Falls, I think that's drop number 4, maybe even 5 for this half, where there could be, that would have been a big gain there.
And right now, that's really kind of hurt this offense. And yes, they've had 2 interceptions, but some drops that would have extended some drives really hurt the Flyers here tonight.
Yeah, and you think about those interceptions, those might not happen because if those other receivers catch those balls, you move and you score, and then you're back on defense with points on the board.
2 to the right side, 2 to the left. 4, Anderson looks over the Yellow Jacket front. They have 4 down linemen now. Anderson pass tipped and almost intercepted, but it falls incomplete. Nice job along the line there. The Yellow Jackets get their hands up.
Yeah, defensive lineman, whenever you see the quarterback go back to throw it, always jump, put your hands up. And as an offensive lineman, you see that, you kind of want to tug them down a little bit just to make sure that their hands don't get a tip on that ball. So nice job on Perham defensive line there to get a tip.
Vetch and Rock were the ones that had their arms up on that one. As we approach 3rd down and 10 with 1:50 to go. This is a dangerous situation. 3rd down, 4th down situation. Clock and timeout still help the Yellow Jackets. Anderson looks. Pump fixing, gets swarmed under and brought down. Braylon Rock with the sack.
Braylon Rock, number 3, with the burst of speed on the edge. I like him coming off the edge hard versus kind of sitting in the flats as a linebacker compared to the last couple of weeks. And obviously that result there shows a good adjustment on defensive coordinator for the Perm.
The Yellow Jackets are electing to keep that timeout in their back pocket. They have 1 remaining. And you know Little Falls is going to work the clock as much as they possibly can here. Zonitson's back at about his own 20.
Yeah, milk the clock here if you're Little Falls. And I would even kick it over on the hash and let it roll. Try to waste as many seconds as possible.
And I think that's what Onitson's thinking as well, as he moved up to the 30, and now timeout called by the Flyers. With under a minute to go.
I don't know what kind of formation they were in there, but I don't think there was a punter back there, Jason.
It might have been picked up. They're looking. The guy that's normally been punting is Walensky. Maybe they're trying to see if the Yellow Jackets would show their hand and what they would do on that one, and the Flyers didn't like what they saw.
Yeah, goofy there. I mean, you can try tricks, but given in this situation when you're 4th and 17 and going into half here, must have been just some type of substitute miscommunication. Maybe a guy was cramping or a guy taking off the field, something like that.
We'll bring up 4th down. Once again, after the timeout, like to thank Lakes Ace Hardware. Get your favorite Benjamin Moore or Magnolia paint colors or color match any color today at Lakes Ace Hardware in downtown Perham. Make sure to stay tuned for your Go Wild halftime show presented by Frontier Airlines. That's coming up in just a matter of minutes. So get ready for this potential punt here for the Flyers. Walensky gets the snap, goes right, now kicks it away. Another nice kick to the far side. Takes a Flyer bounce inside the 5, or just outside the 5 at the 6, and that's where it'll be touchdown. And the Yellow Jackets will more than likely just take a couple of knees into the half.
Yeah, in that situation as a punter, you don't want to try to pick it up and fumble it, and they pick it up and run 5 yards for a touchdown. So that's a smart play given that there's only 40-some seconds left. You can run it. You can take a knee here going into half with the boost of energy, knowing you get the ball to start the half.
Yellow Jackets lead this one by a score of 21-0. The only thing I know quarterbacks love when they take a knee is they lose that yard in their stats. As Blake Schmidt under center.
Either that or sometimes I've seen it in high school and I've seen it in college where they take a step or two back and then they trip on the personal protect guys right behind the guards.
They'll bring up one more kneel down. And that will be the end of our second quarter with the Yellow Jackets leading this one. Schmidt taking his time. Now will take the knee. And on your United Community Bank scoreboard, the Yellow Jackets lead this one by a score of 21-0. Make sure to stay tuned for your Go Wild halftime show presented by Frontier Airlines. Visit flyfrontier.com today to learn about the Go Wild Pass and lock in one-way flights in and out of both Fargo and Minneapolis for as low as $15. We'll take a break, come back with your halftime show here on the Magnitude Sports Network.
I have 3 amazing kids, and it can be a bit complicated.
All right, you guys, you ready?
But there's nothing else like it in the world.
Bye, honey. Traveling with kids is on another level.
Yay, let's go.
I appreciate all the extra help I can get when we fly.
Hi, how can I help?
I'm honored to get every passenger to their destination.
I'm so grateful that I've been able to fly with my 3 young kids.
At Frontier, we get it. We're flyers too, and we believe the sky is for everyone.
We take pride in what we send out. When you open a bag of licorice, you want that licorice to look good, you want that licorice to taste good. We work for you. We take pride in what we're making and what we are offering. It is so important to me. I do thank KLN from the bottom of my heart. They believe you and your family is important.
There is a voice inside of you. Do you hear it? An ember burning deep within, calling you to gather your tribe. beckoning you deep into the wild and instilling in you the courage of 10 Wolverines. You know that voice.
Yep, it's me, your inner otter, and I want you to visit findyourinnerotter.com to explore all that Ottertail Lakes Country, Minnesota has in store for you. See you soon.
One of our core values at United Community Bank is reinvesting in the communities we serve. I personally take great pride in this as I'm a 5th generation in our family here at United Community Bank. We've been here for over 100 years. We take a great sense of pride in sort of that reciprocal relationship we have with our community that, you know, we need our community members and they need us, and we love giving back and reinvesting.
I didn't know what a derecho was. Didn't know that kind of storm existed. I didn't worry a bit about my coverage. It did not let me down. I was not caught blindsided. The secret is to have an agent that gets you insured for your needs. If you don't have Farm Bureau, you don't have good insurance.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Michelle Beck in Perham at 218-345-4010.
River's Edge Cabinetry loves their customers, and customers like Emily love them right back. She says, I've seen a lot of cabinets in my 16 years of real estate sales and appraising, and the quality of River's Edge Cabinetry is right there with the best. Jen says working with them was great because they took care of everything. I really like their style, attention to detail, and being able to see 3D drawings up front. Call 218-346-0127.
At Nias Family Sales, our experienced mechanics are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. With 10 service bays, the service department at Nias Family Sales can work on all makes and models. Our experienced mechanics can do everything from oil changes, tire repairs, brake service, engine and transmission repair, and much more. Schedule your vehicle today. Call 218-346-5976 or visit the Nias Family Sales Service Center at 610 East Main Street in Perham.
Ray's Sport and Marine in Perham has you covered for all your recreational needs. Ray's carries a large inventory of Lund boats, Bennington pontoons, plus Viaggio pontoons. They also carry the Yamaha line of ATVs and UTVs, as well as the full line of Honda Power Sports. Stop in and check out all of what Ray's Sport and Marine has to offer. Good luck to all Perham athletes, and go Yellow Jackets!
Welcome back here at halftime here at the 10-9 field. The Yellow Jackets lead this one by a score of 21-0. I'm Jason Gold, Grant Dirk Heising is homecoming here tonight. The candidates being introduced to the fans here on homecoming as it's a fun atmosphere here tonight at the 10-9 field tonight. The Yellow Jackets with a dominant first half, Grant. They really took control and they lead this one 21-0 on your Go Wild halftime show.
Yeah, a couple keys to the game, Jason, we talked about in the pregame shows to establish a run on the field, and Perham did that right away, and Little Falls didn't really have an answer. So far, they haven't made much of an adjustment here, and that opens up the passing game too. I mean, it's any football fan out there knows that you run the ball, you got to stop it somehow, otherwise you're just going to keep doing it, especially in this situation when you're up 21-0 and you get the ball at half. Little Falls, you got to do something here. Otherwise, Perham's just going to keep running the ball. The thing is, too, when you have a lead like this, you don't want to get complacent. You still want to stay aggressive, but be smart in the play calls, and then obviously the decisions that made by the quarterback and the running back and whatever else. So still be aggressive, but be smart. You still want to have momentum going into the fourth quarter, and then ultimately, if you come away with the win, momentum going into next week as you prepare for the next opponent.
Now, as you look at the second half, say if you're the Yellow Jackets, is this one of those games, as they say in basketball, you might take the air out of the ball a little bit more and just kind of grind the clock as much as possible? Where on the other side, Little Falls need to find a way to get some momentum. And it starts with trying to get that stop right away.
Yeah, Little Falls, your goal is to get 3 and out right away. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is Perham takes 8-9 minutes on this drive and ends up punching it in for another 7 points. So if you're Little Falls, you got to do something, make an adjustment defensively, put more pressure on the running backs, start blitzing, start twisting, doing something defensively to get the ball back. Because it's do or die here right away, and I think the first couple of possessions here are going to establish who's going to come away with the win at the end of the fourth quarter. Specifically, Little Falls, once you get the ball back, don't start just slinging around. You're going to go 3 and out right away. Establish your run, go back to number 3, Hank LeClaire. He's your stud running back. Put him in different spots. Perm stop in your quick trap, get him outside a little bit. Maybe put him in the lead position on that gun I-backs formation. Do something a little bit different. But ultimately, you got to put points on the board.
Here at halftime will give us a chance. We have an extended break today at halftime, so we'll take a look at games upcoming on the Magnitude Bronzecast schedule tonight. On our sister station, Park Rapids takes on Roseville. And then it's a lot of volleyball this week. A couple of Perham home games. On Tuesday, they take on DGF, and then on Thursday, they take on Pelican Rapids. So you can see those on our Magnitude Sports broadcast schedule. Also, you can find that on magnitudesn.com. And a look at Magnitude Online, how you can find us, magnitudesn.com, at YouTube on Magnitude SN, as well as X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram here as our halftime show brought to you by Go Wild by Frontier. On your Go Wild halftime show, visit flyfrontier.com today to learn about the Go Wild Pass and lock in one-way flights in and out of both Fargo and Minneapolis for as low as $15. We'll take a quick break, come back here as the halftime show rolls along on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
There is a voice inside of you. Do you hear it? An ember burning deep within, calling you to gather your tribe, beckoning you deep into the wild, and instilling in you the courage of 10 Wolverines. You know that voice.
Yep, it's me, your inner otter, and I want you to visit findyourinnerotter.com to explore all that Otter Tail Lakes Country, Minnesota has in store for you. See you soon.
Say hello to Taylor Doll at the Backyard. Taylor keeps the store filled with your pet's favorite pet food, pet treats, and pet toys. Hard to find items like retractable dog leashes and pet supplements. The Backyard also carries everything you need for your livestock and poultry operations. Are you a bird watcher? The Backyard has one of the best selections of bird seed, suets, and feeders in the area. And finally, don't forget to book a spa day for your dog with one of our professional dog groomers. 218-346-7487.
Ray's Sport and Marine in Perham has you covered for all your recreational needs. Ray's carries a large inventory of Lund boats, Bennington pontoons, plus Viaggio pontoons. They also carry the Yamaha line of ATVs and UTVs, as well as the full line of Honda Power Sports. Stop in and check out all of what Ray's Sport and Marine has to offer. Good luck to all Perham athletes, and go Yellow Jackets!
At Waterfront Recreational LLC, the mission is to deliver high-quality and custom-built steps, decks, and docks so you can access and enjoy your property. We believe in hard work, honest and fair dealing, high-quality craftsmanship, and excellent customer service. Our products have proven results. We can't control the weather, but our docks remain rock solid in the windiest of conditions. We also offer boat storage in the wintertime. Call or text 218-298-1353 for more information about each of our services, or visit waterfrontrecreational.com today.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
Central Market, the fresh place in Perham and Detroit Lakes, offering the freshest meat, produce, bakery, and deli products possible with great value for your money. A visit to Central Market is a journey into freshness. You'll always be able to find a wide variety of items that will result in the perfect meal for your family and friends. Begin with their meat department, and whether it's succulent fruit and vegetables, fresh baked specialties from their bakery, or the convenience of fresh deli selections, Central Market is the fresh place for your family. Go Yellow Jackets!
Hansen's Plumbing and Heating provides the highest quality products and services to ensure the comfort and safety of all their customers. It's what they do. Henry Hansen, later known as Hardware Hank, first opened the family hardware store in the early 1930s in Burgess, Minnesota. Today, they are proud to carry on his legacy of hard work and honesty through teamwork, fellowship, cutting-edge technology, and forward thinking. 218-346-2422 or make a visit in Perham, Burgess, or Detroit Lakes today. Hansen's Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Minnesota families for over 80 years.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
New Horizons Realty is a full-service real estate company who has been helping buyers and sellers in Lakes Country for over 25 years. They understand the local market conditions because they are from here, live here, and have lifelong careers in real estate. Get a free estimate with an experienced, local, laid-back, and friendly agent that's a part of a team you can trust and will go to work for you. Visit permrealestate.com or call 218-346-7767 to speak with Chad and his dedicated team at New Horizons Realty in Perm.
Well, welcome back here at halftime. Jason Grove, Grant Durkheisen, a good first half for the Yellow Jackets. They lead 21-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. We'll take a couple of looks at our scoreboard throughout the area tonight. East Grand Forks, Fergus Falls, no update there. That's still 7-0 in that one. As we scroll through the MN score feed, like to thank them for their great work. Looking at some of their games, that Esco Pequot game, again, no update since it was 21-0. The DGF Morris game, that's now 21-7 in the second quarter. DGF leads Morris area Trocayo, Alberta 21-7. That can be found on the DGF YouTube screen, as that's now actually just updated 28-7 in favor of DGF as they're taking control of that one right now. And that's a look at our area scoreboard. Haven't seen an update on Detroit Lakes and Thief River Falls, but I can't imagine that one is going to be a tight one early, as it looks like some sprinkles is starting to come down here at the Ted Minover Field here on your Go Wild Fly Frontier halftime show. We'll take a break and come back and have you set up for the second half on the Magnitude Sports Network.
Hi, this is Mike from Magnitude Sports. I'd like you to do me a favor if you would. Subscribe to this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. The channel is owned by a family I've known for over 2 decades and features some sports stars from previous Magnitude Sports broadcasts. So if you're the type of guy that likes fishing, hunting, dogs, you can get all that and more right here on the Dakota Fins and Feathers YouTube channel. You can also find them on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's educational, it's captivating, it's fun. It's Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe.
At Great Clips, we use online check-in to help NHL player Jack Hughes achieve game day flow faster, so he can do more with his time off the clock. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
At Great Clips, we use clip notes to save NHL player Cale Makar's haircut details, so he's always confident in his hockey hair. Because with a name like Cale, you gotta sport great salad. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
When one of us comes up short,
we all come up short.
There's no vape in team.
Think there are only school supplies in your child's backpack? Think again. 5 e-cigarettes were hiding in plain sight. Parents, do your homework.
Learn more about vaping at health.mn.gov/e-cigarettes.
The thing that drives me first and foremost are my kids. They're my biggest motivation. My sister works here also. She's like my go-to.
Welcome back here, homecoming night at the Ted Minover Field. I'm just girl the Grand Turkizing. Yellow Jackets at half, lead 21-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. We thank you for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. And first half drawn up perfectly if you're a Yellow Jacket fan. On the other side for Little Falls, turnovers. You were behind in the take-give at 2-1. You were thinking starting out well. You got that first pick of the game, but then since you've thrown two and it's kind of snowballed there, you talked about it a little bit. Drops have really hurt the Flyers tonight too as well.
Yeah, there were 4 or 5 drops in the first half when really you gain 8 yards on one of those drops. If you catch it, you gain 20-some yards on another one, and it just adds up to be 56 yards lost. And Little Falls, they got to do something here to get points on the board, and the first thing they have to do is get a 3-and-out. Don't let Perham control the clock here and run 7, 8, 9 minutes off of it, because that's what Perham wants to do. And at the same time, on the flip side of the coin, Perham, stay aggressive, don't let up, don't sub too early quite yet, and move the football.
We touched about this off-air season opener here. Perham built up that 21-0 lead. Didn't really get much going in that second half. We'll see what happens tonight. This is one of those, if you're the Yellow Jackets, you really kind of want to put the pedal to the metal here, get a touchdown on this opening drive, make it 28-0, and if you're Little Falls, get a 3-and-out, get a turnover, do anything you can to get the momentum back on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see here Little Falls as they kick it away. If they're going to squib it, if they're going to kick it deep. Looks like Perham's deep return guys are sitting at the 20, so based off their scout, kicker must not have a leg like Hudson Hackle for Perham Yellow Jackets.
Your KLN Family Brand kickoff coming up. KLN Family Brands, apply today, build your tomorrow. And here it is, and away we go. And like you said, short kick, good read to the 24. Picked up here and running straight ahead is returned to the 35. And that was Ty Rooney on the return straight ahead.
Yeah, I love how Ty Rooney, number 10, catches it, and it's a shot out of a cannon. Don't dance around, just get north right away. Little Falls, if kicking it off like that, try to directionally kick it a little bit. Kick it on the numbers, make it a little harder for Perham to get a return if you can't kick it any deeper than that.
Yellow Jackets set up shop. Their first possession of the second half, leading 21-0 behind 3 touchdown runs. One by Tyrus Coudron, one by Braylon Rock, and one by Blaine Schmidt. That's your scoring for the Yellow Jackets. And off right side, Hackle gets across the 40 on that one. And Yellow Jackets, maybe I picked this up side differently, but they're close, I think, to their lead blocker on that one, leaving a little bit early on the snap. That's something to keep an eye on. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Jason, that's exactly what I was going to say. He was leaning forward, and I think he took a small step forward. And officially, I don't know if he saw it or if he just said, I'm not going to throw a flag on the first play of the second half and just to keep it going.
Might be one of those they'll let them know, like, hey, well, next time this will be coming. As Schmidt goes under center, backs in an eye. Handoff to the second back. Rock cuts out right, but nice tackle there. As getting there and making the tackle there was Hank LeClaire with a nice tackle on Rock, keeping him to just a yard gain.
Yeah, that's called an ace formation. You have 2 tight ends tight, and then you have 2 backs there as well, and that just adds extra blockers to essentially keep moving the football, like head coach, offensive coordinator Jesse Hine for the Perham Yellow Jackets. Keep that clock going, but also stay aggressive here on 3rd and 5.
Two receivers left, one on the right side, fakes a handoff, fast, far side, complete to Mason Happel. He gets to the 45, and that will be it. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, good break by Little Falls there, right on the catch for Perham. There was a D-back right there to make the play. Now it's 4th and 2, 3, 4th and short.
Yellow Jackets look like they made the decision that they might go for it here. I know Blaze Schmidt, the quarterback, is the kicker, as the punter. But if you're Little Falls, you kind of got to expect that anything can happen. Now they come out punt formation.
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd do a hard count. They've shown that a couple times this year, and it's a smart move to get a defense to jump off sides.
But if you're Little Falls, exactly how you drew it up, and the fair catch is made at the 20. You get your 3 and out. Now you get the ball back to the offense.
Yep, exactly what Little Falls talked about at halftime is we have to get a 3 and out. If not a 3 and out, get it on the next possession, get a turnover somehow. We need the ball back in our offensive players' hands.
Possession just takes 2:03 on the game clock for the Yellow Jackets, and that's something, a clock that they dominated in that first half. 1st and 10. We'll get another look at Anderson. Chance for him to regroup after a tough first half with a couple of interceptions.
Keep an eye on number 3 for Little Falls, Hank LeClaire, if he's getting a touch here early and if they keep running that quick trap or if they adjust a little bit. Okay, now they're in a diamond formation.
Send Walensky in motion. They give it to LeClaire, left side. Plows forward to the 25 and a gain of 5.
Yeah, Jason, I love the adjustment there. I don't know if they've had that formation yet in the first couple of games, but nice adjustment for Little Falls. Do something a little bit different. Try to catch these Perham Yellow Jackets on their heels for this possession.
They give them to the 25 for the Flyers. They're trying to get something going here in the second half, trailing 21-0 in their third quarter on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Walensky again in motion. Handoff, this time LeClaire right side, bounces it out, gets a first down and more. Drives the defender forward to the 40. Nice run there by LeClaire.
Yeah, keep feeding him the ball. You might want to give the ball to somebody else or do something else out of it and come back to it right away, but a little extracurricular at the end of that play there by a Little Falls guy and a Perm guy.
Kind of unique. We touched on a little bit. Little Falls got away from the running game in that first half. The game's still not out of reach in a 3-possession game. Still time to use that ground attack, and right here, 2 successful runs to start this drive for the Flyers. Getting that diamond formation. 1 receiver left, 1 on the right side for Anderson. Ball on the right hash of the 39. Fumbled snap, but Walensky corrals it. Drives forward, gets to the 45. Nice run. Makes something out of nothing on that one. Does Walensky to the right side. You can see the Flyer fans starting to make a little bit of noise in support of their offense on the far side of the field.
Yeah, nice run by the running back there. Ideally, you break the first line, your defensive lineman, then when a linebacker hits it, you cover the football up with both hands, and then you just keep those feet chopping, get another couple extra yards. Now you're 2nd and 5 versus 2nd and 7.
Slight drizzle taking over here at Ted Minover Field. Anderson hands off again, cut up. Walensky to the 46.
I'm curious if Little Falls has a play action out of this formation. I would have gone to play action out of that and just throw something in the flats and see how Perham secondary reacts to it and then come back to a dive when it's maybe 3rd and short or a first down. We'll see what they call here. I would guess it's going to go into LeClaire's hands, diamond formation, maybe a counter type out of this diamond formation.
The Park Rapids Panthers pick up another victory tonight. They defeat Roseville 33-0, and update we have, DGF leads 35-7 in the third quarter now. 2 receivers now to the right side for Anderson. The Yellow Jackets jump across and encroachment. Neutral zone infraction will give the penalty and a first down to the Flyers.
Smart call by Little Falls offensive coordinator. Try to get a free first down essentially. That's the first hard count of the game for Little Falls. And Perham had one guy jump off sides for a first down here.
Now we have a little bit of a discussion. And they're just kind of confirm and make sure.
Yep,
and it'll be a first down.
Good officials do that. If you're not sure, get together, talk about it, make the call, but make sure everybody's on the same page before you publicly make the call.
Veteran crew here tonight that's done a great job throughout the years. And a crew that's grateful for their work in football, but as well as other sports as well. You'll see this crew in the gym and as well as on the diamond as well throughout the year.
Yeah, without them, Jason, there are no sports, so we got to keep those officials moving forward.
Anderson Nice pitch option to Walensky on the right side. Gets to the corner, has yardage and positive yards to about the 42 on that one.
I love the play call, fake the dive. You've done that a couple times, and then you toss it back, or almost like a option pitch there. Now come back to something on the left side, utilize this space and do the same thing, or something out into the flats and get into the space a little bit. Don't just keep running the ball right at the middle.
It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Flyers. In the gun again in that diamond. One receiver right, one left. They're going to pitch it left side this time. Trying to get to the corner. Hank LeClaire, but a flag as well on the tackle. Braylon Rock flag away from the tackle, I should say. Rock with a nice tackle flag behind the play.
I like the call, using the space, fake the dive, pitch it, get out in space, get a lead blocker, make the secondary guys of Perham come up and make a play. I don't know if there's a holding call.
Legal block. Hold, actually, excuse me. And there are Yellow Jackets.
I thought maybe Perham tackler there grabbed the back of the shoulder pads and had a horse collar. I couldn't quite see.
Jesse Hine will back him up. As they're waiting to debate to see where the play ended. Back him up. That's a interesting spot decision there. You want to put that down and spot. But Hine will back him up across the 50 to their own 48 after the penalty. It's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, in that kind of situation, do you take it or do you let it go? You just trust your gut and you trust your defense and your defensive coordinator to make the right call as well.
And it's also one thing, too, it's the clock game. Now you're backing them up. Still, the clock's going to be moving as it's 2nd and 12. 2 receivers right, 1 on the left side. Handoff right side. Now Walensky bounces it out offside, or off the left side across the 50 to the 49, back in Yellow Jacket territory. It'll be 3rd and 10. Kind of seeing Little Falls moving slowly a little bit tonight, now in the second half. As we approach the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you don't want to take your sweet time here. All of a sudden you're going to be hit down on the 30-yard line. You're looking at 4th quarter with 8 minutes left to go. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of giddy up in your step here, Little Falls. 2
receivers right, 1 to the left side. Back split behind Anderson. Now the inside shovel pass there for Walensky. Yellow Jackets did a nice job on that one. A couple of positive yards, though, for Walensky to the 46.
Yeah, good read by the edge player for Perham. I like that play because you shuffle it forward. If he drops it, it's incomplete versus backwards all the time. If it's dropped, it's live.
4th and 6, though, for the Flyers. As we're approaching 5 minutes to go in our 3rd quarter here at Ted Minover Field. The Yellow Jackets looking to get to 500. Flyers looking to improve to 3-1. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Anderson in the gun. Fires near side. Pass is caught and hauled in for a first down. Nice pitch and catch there. Hauling in. The reception is Tariq Toure, who got the interception in the first quarter for the Flyers, and he hauls that one in. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah, nice route call on that. Sometimes offensive coordinators will call that move the chains, where you run exactly where you need to get to and then run an out or a comeback or something along those lines and catch it, and hopefully you get another yard or 2 past the first down marker.
That looked like the most confident and most comfortable throw we've seen from Gavin Anderson tonight.
Absolutely. He threw that one a little bit harder than he did in the first half, and that was without a doubt his best accurate throw.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Anderson hands it off again. That's LeClaire. Stumbles, but tries forward, takes 1 hit, and then spins forward to the 31. Nice positive run there for LeClaire. This time-consuming drive for the Flyers. As we approach 4 minutes in our 3rd quarter. The Yellow Jackets lead 21-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Make sure to stay tuned to our post-game show, brought to you by EOT Insurance, where we'll have our J&L Nutrition and the Backyard Player of the Game, as well as our Nice Family Sales Drive of the Game. That's all coming up in our post-game show. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left side. Anderson Looks right, fires to the far side, incomplete. A tough pass for the quarterback to throw all the way across to the far side of the field. It's incomplete.
Yeah, especially being left-handed, you got to throw from the left hash all the way to the far side of the field. He threw it short, and maybe the wide receiver had the wrong route as well. We don't know that, but that's a tough one there. Have him roll out to the right, get him some extra yards closer to where that receiver's at. And when you do that, you can see what's in front of you. If nobody there, just keep running it. You got a lot of green grass in front of you.
That's what I was going to kind of touch on. We haven't really seen Anderson use his feet too much when they rolled him out, and the opportunity, as you just touched on there.
No, in the previous couple games, he's had over 40 yards rushing, and he doesn't have much so far tonight.
Two receivers right, to the left. Walensky, the lone back. Anderson drops. Pump fakes. Now comes outside to the left side. Still fires on the run, directs the receiver. One receiver fell, and the pass falls incomplete. Isaac Olson was the one that fell. And they're also looking for the receiver on the far side there, Edward Sobiek, as he goes down, and it's 4th down.
You know, the quarterback, he's running to the sideline for almost every single play. That's a lot of running. If you expect him to run on rollouts, you're kind of wasting some of his energy. Start subbing a receiver in or two or a lineman here and there. Give the guy a break once in a while.
4th down and 6 for the Flyers with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Anderson looking things over. The Yellow Jackets spring pressure and across the line. Another hard count. Draws the Yellow Jackets outside, makes it 4th and short.
Second one this drive where Perham's jumped off sides. You know, part of that is a lack of concentration. When you're up 21-0 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, maybe a lack of concentration, maybe you have a little bit of extra energy or you want to make a play. But you stay disciplined. Now it's 4th and 2. You could do a hard count again, nothing, reset, run the play.
I think the thing is you got those linemen that are just ready to tee off on the quarterback and are antsy on that one.
Absolutely.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left side again. Anderson will hand it off. LeClaire cuts it up. Excuse me, that's Walensky. He's in the end zone for the score. Joey Walensky to the house from 27 yards out, and Little Falls strikes.
Yeah, nice run by Walensky. A couple of nice blocks up front, too, with some of their offensive tackles and guards on the left side. He scampered around a couple of Perham defenders there, and Perham defenders weren't ready for that, secondary guys in particular. It's a way to get 6 points on the board for Little Falls. That's exactly what they talked about at halftime. Get a 3-and-out stop, get some points on the board, and we're in the game going into the fourth quarter. I think your goal is to be a one-score game.
Derek Young on for the extra point. Snap spot is there. The kick is on its way, and Young is good, and it's now 21-7 after the touchdown. We'll take a quick break. Yellow Jackets lead 21-7 on your United Community Bank scoreboard on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
When one of us comes up short,
we all come up short.
There's no vape in team.
Think there are only school supplies in your child's backpack? Think again. 5 e-cigarettes were hiding in plain sight. Parents, do your homework.
Learn more about vaping at health.mn.gov/e-cigarettes.
Welcome back to the 10-mile over field. A nice drive for the Flyers. This start of the third quarter is exactly how they drew it up. Got the 3-and-out, and then a nice drive where they punched the ball downfield and capped it off on a 27-yard touchdown run by Joey Walensky to make it 21-7. And now we'll see how the Yellow Jackets answer. As your KLN Family Brands kickoff coming up right here. KLN Family Brands, a proud people first company. Interested in joining their growing family? Head over to klnfamilybrands.com. Tyus Crudron and Easton Kennedy back for the Yellow Jackets on the kick to the near side for Crudron. He backs up to his 15 and has it. Crosses the 20, now makes a nice move here to the 30. At the 35, bounces outside again, gets driven out of bounds, just shy of the 40. Scudron with a nice return there for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that kickoff was a little bit better than the first one. Directionally, when you're talking about that, try to get a little bit more on the numbers, you know, if you can't punt a little bit further than that, but overall better. On that return, Tyrus Coudron try to get north. A little bit too much dance in there, but we'll see how Perm responds here offensively, if they stay aggressive or if Little Falls has the momentum going into the fourth quarter.
Yellow Jackets break the huddle. Get ready for Great Clips. Download Great Clips app from the App Store to find location nearest you today. We thank them for their sponsorship of high school sports. Handoff goes to Coudron around the left side. Trying to get to the edge, and he gets driven out of bounds on the far side. Isaac Olson. Coudron gets across the corner, maybe a yard on the play.
See, in that situation, you get that jet and you're running. Game situation, you want to try to stay in bounds to keep that clock moving for Perm. Now you're out of bounds, and now it stops the clock.
As a fan of a certain team on Sunday, I'm enjoying seeing a lot of these jet sweeps and options like that from this offense here from the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I figured you'd bring up the Green Bay Packers at some point, Jason. I can't say much back because our home state Vikings haven't got a win yet.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They're going to send a man in motion on the near side. High snap, Schmidt corrals it. Looks, fires over the middle, the pass in and over the hands of Happel and incomplete. He had him over the middle.
Yeah, wide open, 2 different crossing routes. I think it was the same plays we saw in the first half, but the crossing route, good ball by the quarterback, Blaze Schmidt, right through the hands of Mason Happel. That happens. We'll see what they do here. Need 8 yards for a first down.
A big third down here for the Yellow Jackets. You can see the momentum switching a little bit with that nice drive by the Flyers and the stop on that opening possession.
I think if I were Little Falls, I would put some pressure on Blaze, blitz 1 or 2 linebackers. Offensively, if I'm Perm, I run a screen, catch it, and try to run it on the ground.
Schmidt gets a snap, rolls. Looking downfield, Little Falls, good coverage. Schmidt will pull it down and run. Ooh. Big hit on the near side, and delivering the hit there was Joey Walensky. His helmet comes flying off. He'll have to check out for a play because his helmet came off, but it'll be 4th down and another stop for the Flyers.
Yeah, good pursuit by Joey Walensky on the quarterback. He was on a dead sprint, and he knew exactly where Blaze Schmidt was going to go, and he teed off on him, as the helmet shows.
And now Schmidt will be in punt formation. Back deep will be Edward Sobiek. Schmidt with the kick. A nice high kick. Sobiek calls for the fair catch, does it at the 23. And the Flyers will set up shop there, and we'll take a quick break here on the Magnitude Sports Network.
We take pride in what we send out. When you open a bag of licorice, you want that licorice to look good, you want that licorice to taste good. We work for you. We take pride in what we're making and what we are offering. It is so important to me. I do thank KLN from the bottom of my heart. They believe you and your family is important.
Welcome back, third quarter. The Flyers after the kick have the ball, and now Anderson's going to roll right, fire that side, pass complete. That's Olsen trying to make a man miss, does. Nifty move forward across the 30 to the 33. And Anderson's starting to get some confidence in the second half.
Yeah, Anderson in the first half, he threw one across his body, and it was very inaccurate. Now he actually got his shoulders turned as he rolled out to the right, being a left-handed quarterback. That's key. Get your shoulders turned and threw the ball right where it needs to be.
3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Walensky, the hot hand in the backfield to the left of Anderson. Hand off to Walensky again, drives forward, has a first down. And the Flyers may have gotten away with a pre-snap false start on the near side, but it's 1st and 10 nonetheless.
I think you're right, Jason, but the most important thing for the Flyers is they're moving the chains right now.
And they're now a little more pep in their step as they break the huddle quick and come to the line with 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Walensky again gets the handoff, cuts up the middle, drives forward, has another first down, moves the chains near the 50 to the 49. Nice run there once again by Walensky.
I love the call, bringing trips out here. get some more space up the middle and run that trap right in the A gap.
Like to thank Central Market, the fresh place in Perham and Detroit Lakes, offering the freshest meat, produce, bakery, and deli products possible. With great value for your money as the Flyers quick to the line again. 3 receivers left, 1 on the right side. Handoff this time, LeClaire. The Yellow Jackets do a good job there adjusting, and LeClaire only gets a yard. Under a minute to go, third quarter. Yellow Jackets lead by 14 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Two receivers right to the left for Anderson. Drops 3 steps, fires. Pass incomplete. In over the hands of Olsen, and there was Happel off of his chest. And it'll bring up third down.
That's their go-to receiver, and again, that's number 6 or 7 on the day where it's in and out of the hands. We got a little more concentration. That's got to be frustrating for Little Falls and specifically the coaching staff and the quarterback.
Third down and 9 coming up. Two receivers to the right, to the left. Looking right. Anderson fires too strong, a little high, looking for Olsen again. Now it's fourth down. Well, Grant, you're in an interesting spot here at your own 49, down 2 scores, 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Given the situation, I would personally punt it and try to pin him deep. Your defense is playing pretty well this half, and you can feel the momentum has switched slightly. Put the pressure back on Perham and try to get a first down. I would punt it, but it almost looks like they're going to go for it here.
Wind blowing across the field right into the press box here at Ted Minover Field. And the Flyers are going to have to use a timeout. I think they're having a debate like we just were. We'll take a break with them here on the Magnitude Sports Network.
New Horizons Realty is a full-service real estate company who has been helping buyers and sellers in Lakes Country for over 25 years. They understand the local market conditions because they are from here, live here, and have lifelong careers in real estate. Get a free estimate with an experienced, local, laid-back, and friendly agent that's a part of a team you can trust and will go to work for you. Visit permrealestate.com or call 218-346-7767 to speak with Chad and his dedicated team at New Horizons Realty in Perm.
Well, the Little Falls are having a little bit of a debate. We've kind of had one in here in the press box. We both agree that kick it deep, let your defense continue to do its job, what they have done in this second half. Momentum on their side defensively. Pin the Yellow Jackets back, make the defense make the stop, and play that field position game. Still a lot of time left, but the Flyers just burned a timeout there. As that debate rages on, we'll see what the Flyers elect to do now as they break the huddle here, facing fourth down and 9, and it appears that they're going to go for it. 3 receivers left, 1 on the right side, Anderson in the gun. Drops back, pumps. Fires a pass downfield, had a man, but nice jam there late. Mason Happel, I think the Flyers looking for that illegal contact, that penalty on the far side. They don't get it. It'll be Yellow Jacket ball, 1st and 10 at the Flyer 49.
Jason, there was a bump earlier there. That's a route where it's you want to sprint it, stop, and go and throw it right on the go and catch that corner kind of sleeping there. But, yeah, there's a bump there. That could have easily been a flag thrown for Little Falls in their favor.
1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets as we have 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. Now it's up to the Flyer defense again to try to come up with a big stop here. And the field position game is going to play a big role as we get ready for the final 12 minutes on this one. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Schmidt sends a man in motion. That's Happel. Fakes a handoff to him. Goes to Hackle, though. Nice misdirection. Handoff. Hackle straight ahead. Powers forward to the 45 to the 44. And that will be the final play of the third quarter as the Yellow Jackets will let the clock run out. And they'll take a 21-7 lead into the fourth here on the Magnitude Sports Network. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with the start of the fourth quarter here from 10 Minor Field in Perham on the Magnitude Sports Network.
One of our core values at United Community Bank is reinvesting in the communities we serve. I personally take great pride in this as I'm a fifth generation in our family here at United Community Bank. We've been here for over 100 years. We take a great sense of pride in sort of that reciprocal relationship we have with our community that, you know, we need our community members and they need us, and we love giving back and reinvesting.
Welcome to Perham, Minnesota, a great place to visit and an even better place to live. Here's a look at just a few of the things you can experience here. If you'd like to find your inner otter in Perham, visit OttertailLakesCountry.com.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. I'm Jason Groth with Grant Derek Eising here on the Magnitude Sports Network as we get ready to go. The Yellow Jackets break the huddle. They'll come out in the gun with one receiver to the right side. Handoff to Rock around the left edge. Drives forward, goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds here along the near sideline at about the 24. 23 in front of veteran statman Ron Burns.
Pre-game show we talked about Perham kind of has a two-headed monster in the running backs with Braylon Rock and Hudson Hackle, and I'd say as far as
personal foul, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. There was a flag down, personal foul on the Flyers. I'll let you continue your thought there,
yeah,
Grant.
as far as carry-wise, it's pretty even, and that makes it harder to scout defensively. You can't key on one guy, and I know Perham is keen on number 3 for Little Falls, so that's a little bit of an advantage for Perham too.
Well, the penalty will move the Yellow Jackets right inside that Reuter Family Dentistry red zone at the 19. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, and an opportunity. You know, they're looking to try to get their dagger here early fourth quarter. One receiver to the right side, handoff again, Rock off the left edge, cuts it up. Nice read there by Braylon Rock, cuts it upfield to the 15.
Yeah, that penalty by Little Falls, that's a killer right there. Now you move them forward, and now you can really take your time. You're in the red zone, there's no rush for Perham. Take your time.
This will be 2nd down and 5. Handoff right edge this time. Hackle cuts it back up the middle. Gets down inside the 10 to the 6. And another nice run by the Yellow Jacket backfield. Will be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Perham's gun eye formation's really on key tonight. Little Falls hasn't made a lot of adjustments throughout the game on it. And, you know, from an offensive perspective, keep doing it.
Hackle again, straight ahead. The Flyers eventually push back at the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal. Yellow Jackets, 3 rushing touchdowns. 1 by Tyrus Goudron, 1 by Braylon Rock, and 1 by Blaise Schmidt, all in the first half. Joey Walensky with the lone score for Little Falls here in the 3rd quarter. But we're in the 4th quarter, and the Yellow Jackets lead by 14, looking for more. Now they're going to go back to that powerhouse backfield.
Full house.
As Dilbeck joins. But Schmidt's going to plow forward, and he has the touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run for Blaise Schmidt, and the Yellow Jackets extend the lead. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day.
Yeah, Perham has Little Falls exactly where they want them going into the 4th quarter here with about 10.5 minutes left. Now you can kick it deep, try to pin them deep as they have that throwback on the return, and put your defensive squad out there for good field position.
Yellow Jackets
Little confusion there, Jason.
I was going to leave that one to you. That's your own forte, I'm sure. Hudson Hackle for the kick. And it's good. A low liner gets it through.
Thing about special teams is sometimes you got some subs in there to give your main crew breaks, and if they're gone or two during the week, sometimes it can be a little bit of a chaos. Organized chaos is a nice way to put it. But that's why you walk through everything before the game and make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yellow Jackets lead this one 28-7 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors who make these broadcasts possible on the Magnitude Sports Network. Frontier Airlines, Great Clips, Dakota Fins and Feathers, Budget Blinds, Ray Sport and Marine, Waterfront Recreational, Perham Health, New Horizons Realty, Perham Chamber of Commerce, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Lakes Area Co-op, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Central Market, Nias Family Sales, Lakes Ace Hardware, EOT Insurance, KLN Family Brands, United Community Bank, Reuter Family Dentistry, and J&L Nutrition in the Backyard. We appreciate your support of high school athletics here on the Magnitude Sports Network as we're in the fourth quarter. Yellow Jackets lead this one by a score of 28-7, getting ready to kick things off here on the KLN Family Brands kickoff after the touchdown.
If I'm Little Falls here, they like to throw it back as they get it, but in this situation, I would just catch it and run it. You don't want to risk turning the ball over and then having Perham go on offense again.
Hudson Hackle will kick off for the Yellow Jackets.
Back deep is Isaac Olson at the goal line. He's had a unique night on returning. And the kick. Another nice one from Hackle. Olson backs up into the end zone. And this time it's a touchback. So my thought on the one we talked about earlier in the game, maybe they thought that he got it out before he went in. So that could be the issue. But neither here nor there. We'll continue to play on as it's 28-7. And the Flyers will look to try to get some momentum going and probably need a couple of quick strikes here. And the captain obvious call tonight there by saying they need some quick strikes.
Yeah, right. The White Hat obviously has the best position on where that ball's caught, so maybe we were wrong in the first half. But Jason, you know, you're a Green Bay Packers fan, so you're wrong a lot.
I'll let you have that one right now, but as you look at the standings, though, there's a team with the G standing on top.
Yeah, we'll see in a couple weeks.
Handoff. Walensky gets forward to the 25.
Walensky's doing a nice job tonight for Little Falls. He has more carries tonight than he's been averaging in the previous games. They're spreading the wealth a little bit offensively.
Handoff left side. Pass completes the far side from Anderson. Gets the first down to Isaac Olson, who's been Anderson's target.
Yeah, that's the dynamic duo there between the quarterback and receiver through the first 3.5 games, and it'll continue to be through the rest of the regular season.
Got a fan back home chirping us a little bit as the pass goes far side. Incomplete there is Sobiek. And it's going to be 1st and 10. More like chirping me over all that. Longtime Yellow Jacket supporter and father of a couple of alumni trio of alumni that have played for the Yellow Jackets. Two receivers left to the right side. They're all now U of M Golden Gophers. Anderson fires. Pass complete, far side. Happel drives the receiver out of bounds.
Yeah, if you're Perham secondary-wise, you don't want to give too much space here. Otherwise, they're going to go 7, 8, 9 yards at a pop here, and they obviously want to put points on the board, but don't give them too much cushion. Your goal ultimately as a D-back, though, is to not get beat deep, and we haven't really seen a deep throw yet. It's been a lot of underneath stuff, a couple things on the middle. I would take a shot here. 2nd down.
I might have to put the phone down if he keeps texting. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Send the man in motion. That's Olson. Anderson rolls out to his left again. Jump pass from Anderson looking for Olson. It's incomplete.
There's the deep shot. I don't love the rollout on a deep shot. It's hard to throw it. He is rolling to his left, so that helps. But get a good snap, go and gun. You can see the field over and then chuck it as far as you need to. I don't love the rollout and try to throw it 35, 40 yards.
Brings up third down for the Flyers at the 49. Flyers in the huddle. Yellow Jackets lead 28-7 here in the fourth quarter. 9:19 to go. 3 right, 1 to the left. Lone back to the right of Anderson Walensky. He's got the lone touchdown and a jump on the far side of the line. And again, the third hard count from Anderson that's turned into a first down.
Yeah, that's the third time for Perham. They've jumped off sides, and Little Falls is 2 of the times I believe they moved the change, but then they went 4th and 2 or something. But your leaders defensively, whoever your captains are, you got to say grab grass, watch the football, don't jump off sides and give them first down. Be disciplined.
3 receivers right again. Anderson in the gun. Now Walensky to his left. Anderson pumps. Now rolls forward too strong for Walensky. Kind of for Walensky's safety's sake. It's good that he didn't catch it. Sawyer Dilbuck was ready to lower the lumber there on that one, but it goes out of the hands of Walensky too far ahead for him.
Yeah, he had a free range shot at Walensky there. If that ball would have been a little bit lower and he would have caught it, I think he would have been lit up going in at the sideline there.
Your United Community Bank scoreboard shows the Yellow Jackets leading 28-7 here in the fourth quarter. 9:15 to go on homecoming. Yellow Jackets hoping to close this one out, then get ready to take on Fergus Falls in Fergus Falls next Friday. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Handoff, Walensky. Swollen under, but gets away and gets across the line of scrimmage and gets about 2. And it'll be a third down, and now the Flyers are quick to the line, go no huddle. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Anderson, quick pass, complete. First down at the sticks. Jackson Jansky has the first down.
I love this change of pace. Let's get it going, get up beat, get to the line. You know the call, signaling the call. Let's roll.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right side. Walensky the lone back to the right of Anderson. Anderson fires far side, complete. Jansky takes a hit, out of bounds, gain of 6.
See how they're moving the football just by having a no huddle. Little up tempo for Little Falls. They know they need to score. Perm sitting on their heels just a little bit.
6-yard gain in the play.
Second and 4.
Right when I say that, and then they huddle up.
I was just going to say it, but being driven out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Yep, why not?
Full playbook open at 2nd and 4, but again, the time not on their side. They need 3 quick scores with 8:39 to go, fourth quarter. And they only have 2 timeouts, but they have 2 receivers left, 2 to the right side. Walensky to the right of Anderson, again in the gun. Looks right, has time. Now the pressure comes from Rock, forces him outside. Anderson is going to fire downfield. The pass is caught for a touchdown.
Wow.
Tariq Turay with the score for the Flyers.
What a play. Scrambled. He didn't give up on the play. He was smart. Quarterback knew exactly where the line of scrimmage was at. He stopped a yard before it, saw a man downfield, threw it up there. Man, he kind of looked like Lamar Jackson on that play.
Tariq Turay is having himself a night with the touchdown reception. Young now on for the extra point. The snap, the spot, the kick. It's good. And just like that, the Flyers have answered with a big pitch and catch. Anderson to Turay. And it's now 28-14. We'll take a quick break, come back on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
How has United Community Bank helped you guys through the years now?
Well, we started 13 years ago with 1 employee in a little shop out of our home. And now over the years we've grown to about 25 employees and 2 shop buildings. So they have absolutely been amazing, supported us, trusted us, and put their faith in us. We just really couldn't have done it without United Community Bank. They are just really supportive.
What a play there. Anderson to Toure for the score. And just like that, Little Falls with a big strike makes it 28-14. Now on the kickoff, you haven't had many deep kickoffs, so that opens up things a little bit here. What they elect to do. There is a lot of time left, but not, I mean, there's 8:30 to go.
I would not onside this. Don't give Perm the ball in the middle of the field. It's better give them at the 30 or the 25. But if you're Perm, secure the football. Don't try to get a couple extra yards. Just go down. You cannot afford a turnover right now.
Well, the way the ball's set up, I'm telling you that right now they don't agree with you.
Yeah, I see that as well. I don't love it. You have momentum. I would kick it.
What side is he going to elect to go for the onside kick coming up here? The KLN Family Bands kickoff, Walensky. And there it is. And nice job by the Yellow Jackets hands team to pick that up. And scoop that up was Ashton Detloff.
Yeah, Ashton Detloff, when he's not on the mound throwing 80 miles per hour, he's playing first base and he's picking throws going across the infield off the dirt. So you see that's a prime example of being a multi-sport athlete there.
Well, you mentioned that. You talk about this group. You got baseball players, you have hockey players, basketball guys, track and field as well on this squad, and wrestlers. I can't leave them out too. They feel, especially the big linemen, have done a great job tonight, and that's one of the things you love to see about high school sports is the Yellow Jackets get the play from head coach Jesse Hine with 8.5 to go here in the fourth quarter, leading by 14. Ball on the 49-yard line in Flyer territory. Schmidt in the gun. Handoff, Hackle with Rock leading the right side. Hackle, just power running, picks up the first down across the 40 to 39.
Yeah, Hackle there just lowered his shoulder and said, you are not taking me down. I'm going to mow you right over and get that extra couple of yards. But when you talk about these kids being multi-sport athletes, football is unique because in the fall, a lot of those multi-sport athletes who play basketball or wrestling or swim or play hockey, they're unified in the fall. And that's a good thing is you build that connection within each other specifically because you pour your heart out in the football and you grind it and practice. And really, when it gets to be October, you could be looking at some really cold and windy and rainy days, too, and you stick it out together. It's a strong bond.
Hackle and Rock, the backs behind Schmidt. Handoff, Hackle again, right side. He cuts back inside here on a nice run, does an important job. He stays in bounds, makes it 2nd and 7, or 3, excuse me. You know, the Yellow Jackets content. Keep running what's working, and especially when you're working the clock, make them stop you. And Hudson Hackle, 2 straight runs to the right side, picks up a big chunk of yardage. This drive started at the Flyer 49, now down to the 31.
You know, a lot of people talk about how running backs are so good or this running back's a stud, and Perm has 2 good ones, but you can't leave out the linemen, too. The linemen for Perm have been excellent tonight. They've created some nice holes.
Schmidt, handoff again. Hackle, right side, same thing. Plows forward. Little Falls picked up that one. That's going to be 3rd and very short at the 29.
Yeah, so you can see quarterback Blaze Schmidt there kind of rolling his fingers together like call the same thing, do the same thing, and then coach might just say, okay, flip it since you're on the right hash. Just flip it, same play, flip it. Otherwise, sometimes you yell out something like PD, 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 and that means just call the same play, watch the back judge, snap it when you're at 5 seconds, 4 seconds, waste as much time as possible.
And there the back judge hands goes up and the Yellow Jackets straight to the line. Schmidt is going to plow forward, quarterback sneak, first down. He's done a nice job. 2 touchdowns with that quarterback sneak, now a first down.
Yeah, you know, Blaze Schmidt, he's a strong kid. He's got strong legs, and he's got a couple of nice linemen in front of him getting that push. And I don't recall him running any QB sneaks so far earlier in the year. Maybe one. I guess it doesn't come to the top of my mind right now. But, yeah, he's had a couple of them tonight. That's all you need to do. Don't waste time messing around with a handoff. Just get a couple of yards and move the chains. Now take a breath, call play, get huddled up, get everybody on the same page.
And now the frustrating thing for these kids, you know what they're trying to do. These guys like to get up and go. They want to go as fast as they can. But in the game situation, slow it down, take their time. You can see Blaze sitting there a little bit. Let's go. But
yep.
Here's the game situation. Get the W is what the Yellow Jackets are hoping for. The handoff goes to Rock left side. He absorbs a couple of hits inside the Reuter Family Dentistry red zone at the 19.
Yeah, you know, these kids are excited. They have a nice lead going into about 5.5 minutes left in the quarter, but when we talked about in the pregame show with homecoming, all the festivities and stuff, you get a little extra amped up on the field, and it's hard to just push to the wayside and say, okay, now sit in the huddle for 20 seconds, call the play twice, break the huddle, and then wait for the back judge to raise his hand and then run it. That's hard for high school kids sometimes.
As they're hoping to wrap up tonight with a W, then go have some fun at the homecoming dance afterwards.
Jason, you like to dance?
No, not at all. Handoff Hackle to the outside, but Little Falls did a good job of stringing that outside right down at the sticks.
Yeah, Little Falls had the right defensive call on that one. They sent a couple of outside rushers. Perham's been running that zone a lot outside. I think it's an outside zone. There's inside and outside zones. Outside zones, the running back, his aiming point is outside of the tackle, and then if you call an inside zone, it's more so of the guard, so it's a little bit more obviously on the inside.
Have an official measurement, but it's going to be interesting because I think an official's timeout they called, the chain on the far side snapped in half, I think, on that play on the near side, or on the far sideline, as they're going to work to fix that. That'll give us an opportunity to take a quick timeout as we can watch AD Aaron Anderson run across the field to try to.
That's coming out of their paycheck, Jason.
We'll take a break.
I didn't know what a derecho was. Didn't know that kind of storm existed. I didn't worry a bit about my coverage. It did not let me down. I was not caught blindsided. The secret is to have an agent that gets you insured for your needs. If you don't have Farm Bureau, you don't have good insurance.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Michelle Beck in Perham at 218-345-4010.
Welcome back to the 10-mile over field. It is a first down for the Yellow Jackets. So it'll be, they're going to say it's third down, I guess. And you have to move the broken chain and broken stick back.
Yeah, little do you know, it's actually 8 yards now for a first down versus 10, so that plays a factor in Perm now, fortunately for Perm. No, just kidding. They got her fixed up. They're taking their sweet time, though. Head coach Jesse Hines puts his hands up. What are we doing here? Let's get this moving.
3rd and 3, apparently.
We'll see.
4.5 to go. Schmidt looks things over, looks back at his running backs, takes a couple of looks. The hand goes up. Now he goes under center. Handoff is going to be Dillbeck. He's now going to have that first down.
Yeah, full house backfield. We've seen it a couple of times so far this year for Perm, and we saw it in the first half too. I love the full house backfield. You get a couple extra blockers. You get your lineman double teaming or a combo block, and then you got another running back.
We got an injured player on the field, so we'll take a break on the Magnitude Sports Network.
We take pride in what we send out. When you open a bag of licorice, you want that licorice to look good, you want that licorice to taste good. We work for you. We take pride in what we're making and what we are offering. It is so important to me. I do thank KLN from the bottom of my heart. They believe you and your family is important.
The injured flyer was Tariq Ture. He is walked off under his own power, but there might be. The Flyers awaits. and get ready to come back to the line. That'll be 1st and 10 inside the Reuter Family Dentistry red zone. The Yellow Jackets can still get a first down. 1st and 10, we'll call it. It's got to be the 11. As the Yellow Jackets continue to work the clock, looking for win number 2.
I would guess full house backfield, maybe a power, some type of lead. Get multiple guys taking on double blocks here. You only need, 12 yards to get another 6 points on the board.
The Yellow Jackets showing extreme patience.
A lot of conversations here between officials. I don't know if there's confusion on the field or if there's a malfunction of equipment of a player or what, but.
Or just chatting them up.
Yeah.
Full house backfield, as you said. Handoff Rock gets met right away this time.
Yeah, usually in a game like this, the refs want to keep the clock going so they can get on their way to go home or go out to eat or whatever.
And Little Falls will take its timeout. They have, I believe, 1 remaining now. We'll take a break with them. Yellow Jackets lead this one, 28-14.
Reuter Family Dentistry, with locations in Perham and Wadena, is now hiring. The purpose-driven team at Reuter Family Dentistry strives for the core values of excellence, commitment, and a positive culture.
My favorite thing about being part of Reuter Family Dentistry is just our values and our commitment to each other and to the patients. I know I can leave here every day feeling good about what I've done.
Welcome back. Yellow Jackets lead 28-14. Quick handoff. Bill back right side. Cuts out and gets brought down. And it's going to be 3rd and about 5. And it looks like we have an injury. And a Yellow Jacket player down. And we'll take another break.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
At Nias Family Sales, our experienced mechanics are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. With 10 service bays, the service department at Nias Family Sales can work on all makes and models. Our experienced mechanics can do everything from oil changes, tire repairs, brake service, engine and transmission repair, and much more. Schedule your vehicle today. Call 218-346-5976 or visit the Nias Family Sales Service Center at 610 East Main Street in Perham.
Welcome back. Out of actually a Little Falls timeout. Player that I thought was down popped up. He was okay. Now we're back to live action, 3rd and 8. Falls backfield again. And that play was doomed from the start as Rock eventually got the handoff and lost the yard.
Yeah, I don't know if he got tripped up on one of his offensive linemen's foot or if he tripped on that white line on the field. Either or, that's not a good start here.
So it'll be 4th down for the Yellow Jackets. Inside the 10 at the 9, the Yellow Jackets content to work the clock as much as possible. Scoring isn't really a big thing here. But a couple of guys you may have heard in the booth next to us through our mics may have been hollering for a field goal here. See if the Yellow Jackets work the clock, call timeout, and then kick it. And we got the timeout. So we'll take a break. Come right back. Thank our sponsors one more time.
Ray's Sport and Marine in Perham has you covered for all your recreational needs. Ray's carries a large inventory of Lund boats, Bennington pontoons, plus Viaggio pontoons. They also carry the Yamaha line of ATVs and UTVs, as well as the full line of Honda Power Sports. Stop in and check out all of what Ray's Sport and Marine has to offer. Good luck to all Perham athletes, and go Yellow Jackets!
Every day, thousands of dogs in the lakes area are told to stay. When they wanted to play at the Backyard Play Care, Doggy Daycare, or Play Care is the perfect spot for your dog. 100% supervised playtime and 100% fun in a brand new facility that opens this fall. Contact the Backyard Boarding and Play Care at 218-346-4104 or check us out on Facebook today.
Hudson Hackelot for the field goal. We'd like to thank again Jim Stegel tuning in out in Denver, North Carolina, enjoying tonight's broadcast. Low snap, hold, unable to get off. Now they're going to run. And that's Onenson looking for the corner, takes a hit, gets driven out of bounds. It's going to be a first down, I think, pending the spot. We'll see you at the spot. No, I think the far side official is saying no already.
Yeah, even though he's, 50 yards away, that's not his call. But I agree. I don't think he got it. But good effort on the holder.
We're going to have a measurement.
Coach Hine walks on the field, says we need to get an official measurement here.
We'll see how that broken stick holds up. They measure it here.
Yeah, don't stretch it too tight. It'll snap again.
And a big measurement coming up here in a 28-14 game. As all eyes are pinned here along the near sideline. And that far sideline official was spot on it. And it's going to be first down for the Flyers.
Inside the 1 yard line.
But that's one. There was a snap that got away, and Onenson did a nice job picking up the ball, cutting to the near side, trying to lunge for it. Got hit out of bounds just shy of that marker. Was almost able to turn a field goal opportunity into 6, but the Flyer defense gets the stop, and it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 1.
Yeah, anytime the ball is snapped and rolls on the ground, don't even try to place it down. You're going to get blocked or tackled right away.
Pitch out near side. Now a pass downfield.
Oh,
near side official is going to call it a catch and say he got a foot down as Edward Sobiek makes the reception from the pass from Joey Walensky.
Halfback pass, Jason, in the end zone. That's pretty risky to do that. But I like the gutsy call. You got to do something here and try to keep the ball moving forward and get a few points on the board with only 2.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Sobiek makes the reception, 1st and 10. Clock should start now as the chains have been moved. Actually, no, he was out of bounds. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah, so Little Falls huddles up. Take your time. Call a play. Now it's starting to rain a little bit too, Jason.
Anderson rolls to his left. Pumps, fires. Pass complete.
Got it.
And a nice catch there in the middle by Sobiek again. And Anderson's doing a good job spreading the ball around a little bit more now.
Yeah, compared to the first 3 games of the season, too, he's only thrown it to 3 or 4 guys for a couple catches. But this up-tempo Little Falls team has been doing a lot better than just huddling up slow.
Anderson fires again. Far side too strong. That time looking for Sobiek again.
Now incomplete. Huddle up. Get the right call. Offensive coordinator. Take 7-8 seconds. Think about what you want to do here. 2nd and long. I would try to put it on the ground and have another call ready. Signal it in. This is something you rep at practice.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Flyers trailing 28-14, looking for a score. This drive started at their own 1. 2:10 to go. The Flyers do not have a timeout left. Anderson rolls left, fires, pass complete, far side. Sobiak again, short of the first down, goes out of bounds though. Sobiak having a nice drive.
Yeah, he sure is. Nice ball by the quarterback. You know, being a left-handed quarterback, we've talked about it quite often tonight. When you roll out and your momentum's going forward and you throw it accurate like that, that's something that I would continue to do, because if he's not there, you just keep running, go out of bounds, and it stops the clock for your team.
Trips to the right side, one receiver to the left. Walensky the lone back. Quick pass near side, Sobiak again in and out of his hands and almost intercepted as it goes in and out of the hands on the near side of Hudson Hackle. And that would have been the dagger for sure.
You know, I don't think number 13 for Little Falls thought that ball was coming his way. It seemed like the ball was almost to him and he threw his hands up real quick. I don't know if he was a little confused or just didn't expect it to come, but obviously the quarterback saw some space, and that's the read he made.
4th down. And 4. 3 receivers to the left, one to the right side. Anderson in the gun. Steps, pump fakes, now rolls left. Fires it downfield, too high and too strong for Isaac Olson, and it's incomplete. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, and that will be your dagger.
Indeed, Jason. Nice job by Perham Secondary, though, to stay disciplined and not get beat deep. That's your number one job as a defensive back, is do not get beat deep. Defensive back coaches, that's something that will absolutely pull their hair out every single time it happens, and you can't make that mistake again. So nice job of staying home for Perham Secondary there and getting the ball back in Perham's offensive team's hands.
Rather than rock down for the Yellow Jackets, we'll take a quick timeout and come back.
River's Edge Cabinetry loves their customers, and customers like Emily love them right back. She says, I've seen a lot of cabinets in my 16 years of real estate sales and appraising, and the quality of River's Edge Cabinetry is right there with the best. Jen says working with them was great because they took care of everything. I really like their style, attention to detail, and being able to see 3D drawings up front. Call 218-346-0127 or visit the website today, riversedgecabinetry.com, turning your vision into reality.
At Great Clips, we use online check-in to help NHL player Jack Hughes achieve game day flow faster, so he can do more with his time off the clock. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
At Great Clips, we use clip notes to save NHL player Cale Makar's haircut details, so he's always confident in his hockey hair. Because with a name like Cale, you gotta sport great salad. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
Welcome back. Just like that, we have one kneel down as the Yellow Jackets are going to salt this one away and improve to 2-2 and pick up their first win in the Midwest Red. Little Falls is going to fall to 2-2 and drop to 1-2 in the Midwest Red. We have a full post-game show lined up for you. Coming up here on the Magnitude Sports Network, we'll name our J&L Nutrition Player of the Game. We'll also have our nice family sales drive of the game all coming up in our post-game show, brought to you by EOT Insurance as the Yellow Jackets take another knee.
Yeah, Yellow Jackets in victory formation. This is the last thing you practice every single Thursday as you review things, and that's how you want to end every game on Friday nights, is victory formation.
Guessing the Vikings haven't had much practice on that formation. We'll find out again on Sunday.
Well, they probably practiced it in practice, but not necessarily in the games yet, Jason. But I deserve that one for throwing a dig at you for being a Packers fan. I'm surprised you're not wearing anything yellow and green.
Well, don't worry. The sweatshirt is here.
You probably got a T-shirt underneath that one. It's just Green Bay under there.
Not tonight. Sporting the Magnitude Sports gear as we thank you for tuning in. As Blaze Schmidt takes another knee. And that will do it as the rain continues to come down and start coming down harder here. Perfect timing as the fans make a dash out of the stadium here, and the Yellow Jackets pick up the victory. And a nice one tonight for the Yellow Jackets as they pick up a 28-14 victory and celebrate homecoming here at the Ted Mine Overfield We'll come back with your postgame show right here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
New Horizons Realty is a full-service real estate company who has been helping buyers and sellers in Lakes Country for over 25 years. They understand the local market conditions because they are from here, live here, and have lifelong careers in real estate. Get a free estimate with an experienced, local, laid-back, and friendly agent that's a part of a team you can trust and will go to work for you. Visit permrealestate.com or call 218-346-7767 to speak with Chad and his dedicated team at New Horizons Realty in Perm.
Hansen's Plumbing and Heating provides the highest quality products and services to ensure the comfort and safety of all their customers. It's what they do. Henry Hansen, later known as Hardware Hank, first opened the family hardware store in the early 1930s in Burgess, Minnesota. Today, they are proud to carry on his legacy of hard work and honesty through teamwork, fellowship, cutting-edge technology, and forward thinking. 218-346-2422 or make a visit in Perham, Burgess, or Detroit Lakes today. Hansen's Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Minnesota families for over 80 years.
Welcome back here to the postgame show. We're going to actually have an abbreviated postgame show as the rain is starting to come down onto our equipment, so we're going to wrap it up quickly to save our equipment. Once again, we'd like to thank all our sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. But tonight, granted, a nice win for the Yellow Jackets. Your J&L Nutrition Player of the Game, Evo Kenneth quarterback Blake Schmidt did a nice job tonight really leading this Yellow Jacket offense. And there's a lot of players you could give it to tonight. The backs, Braylon Rock, Hudson Hackle as well as the offensive line too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like I said earlier in the game, you talk about the guys who actually put points on the board, but they don't really do any of that unless your linemen are playing well together. And as far as Blake Schmidt being the player of the game, this isn't the last time he's going to be player of the game. I mean, he's a playmaker, not just in football, but in basketball and baseball as well. And he's gritty. In adversity, he just stares it right in the eyes and he says, I'm gonna take it on. And that shows with those QB sneaks. I think I would keep doing that if I were Perm. When you get to the 1st or 2nd yard line, keep doing those QB sneaks. And you know, Blaze, he's got an accurate arm too, and he displayed that a little bit in the first half, a little bit in the second, but not to the full effect of what Perm needed to because they were ahead, the whole game, and they just wanted to grind that clock down. So congratulations to Blake Schmidt on player of the game, Jason.
And then just as fast as our pregame, postgame show rain shower, it's gone already.
Yeah.
As it has cleared up. Well, the rain has stopped at least, so let us keep us here a little bit longer, and you guys can listen to us chat a little bit more. Our Nias Family Sales drive of the game. The Nias Family Sales Service Center can service all makes and models. Schedule your vehicle today by calling 218-346-5976. And we kind of touched on it a little bit off air, and I think it was that first touchdown drive for the Yellow Jackets is the one I'm going to go with. It was after a turnover. They got a turnover back to the Yellow Jackets and were able to turn it back into points.
Yeah, it was an interception, and then the next play or two is an interception back for Perm, and then Perm just said, all right, this is enough. We're going to grind it out, start running the football, and they got a little lead in their butts and started pushing the line, and the running backs started running harder, and from there on out, Little Falls didn't have much hope in that first half. But you got to give Little Falls credit coming in the second half because their goal, I'm sure they talked about at halftime, is let's get a 3-and-out, let's get the ball back, and let's go and score, and then we got a chance, fellas, and that's exactly what they did, and that's what they needed to do. But unfortunately, they had that huge penalty that Perm got a first down on, a 15-yard penalty towards the middle of the third quarter that just kind of took the air out of their tires, and then Perm kept their foot on the gas from there on out.
A nice victory tonight for the Yellow Jackets. They improved to 2-2 with a 28-14 victory. Now they get ready to celebrate the homecoming dance tonight with the victory, and that's always more fun when you leave the field with a W. Little Falls will now try to turn things around quickly as they get ready to take on Dilworth, Glendon, Felton. And that's going to be a tough test, but it'll be at home for Little Falls. And they seem to have played a little bit better at home and have the Flyers. And they'll try to continue that when they take on the Rebels on Friday night. The Yellow Jackets on the road taking on Fergus Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank all our sponsors. Frontier Airlines, Great Clips, Dakota Fin and Feathers, Budget Blinds, Ray Sport Marine, Waterfront Recreational, Perham Health, New Horizons Realty, Perham Chamber of Commerce, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Lakes Area Co-op, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Central Market, Nias Family Sales, Lakes Ace Hardware, EOT Insurance, KLN Family Brands, United Community Bank, Reuter Family Dentistry, and J&L Nutrition and the Backyard, the sponsors of our player of the game. Tonight was Blake Schmidt with the honorable mention to Hudson Haxkel, Braylon Rock, and the front of the Yellow Jackets tonight.
Yeah, as far as the offensive linemen go, they grind it out every day in practice. They're pushing each other in the mud, and they're the ones that have the most dings on their arms and their feet and their hands and whatever, and they don't get a lot of notoriety, and it's good to talk about them a little bit too. And if you don't have 5 guys as linemen on the same page, especially when you run a lot of zone plays where you all have to move in unison, if one guy doesn't know what he's doing, it messes up the whole play. And if one guy can't do his job, then you just can't run something like that. So tip your hat to Perham offensive line too.
A nice victory for the Yellow Jackets. I'm just trying to get the score feed up to date here and give you some quick updates from around the area. But my phone got doused by some rain, so it's not really updating as we had hoped, but some nice performances tonight across the board for the Yellow Jackets. And I think one of those quick keys is the rain comes right back down. So we'll wrap it up. Thank you very much for tuning in. For Grant Durkheim, I'm Jason Groth. Hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage of the Yellow Jackets and the Flyers on the Magnitude Sports Network.
The preceding broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.